Yay! Welcome everyone. Nat one. Yeah, I know.
Minutes.
Hello.
It was fucking 2
Nat
minutes.
one frog time. Damn,
Yeah.
frog G.
Shit. We already said we were gonna get shit for it, but it wasn't.
but
Etu, Frog G,
game
Etu.
appropriate. Yeah, it's a game appropriate shit though. So, hats off to you, Frog. That was a good one.
Welcome everyone to Dice James and Dudes. How's everyone doing?
Awesome.
Good.
A little tired. Had to cut off the top of a tree today, but yeah, doing all right.
Yay.
And then you froze. Oh,
And then
now
I
you're
froze.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
Yeah, my work today was really boring, so I'm really happy that I get to do this instead because I literally spent most of my day trying to define the difference between two words that are commonly misused as synonyms when they are very much not.
I defined them.
Yes, and then I had to argue with the other person to get them to agree that that was, in fact, how it is used in English.
The
So
other person doesn't speak English.
she does. That's the problem. She just trusted
Not
the
well.
translator. Yeah, it was the difference between systemic and systematic. So we broke it down to synonyms. If you can switch systemic to expansive, I think it was extensive, and have it still make sense, then it's good. Systematic can be changed to methodical, and so yeah, there was
more or less.
Quantity
there was a lot
quality,
of debate. That was like literally like 2 hours of my day was that.
wow.
That sounds like a day well spent.
Yeah.
Woo! Wade, look, this is what happens when you transition from being somebody who's actually like working on like mission related stuff and somebody who's trying to teach people mission related stuff. So now it's turned into, hey, I have to be a pedantic asshole because it matters when it comes to me teaching.
Nice. I actually felt that today too. I got certified as a trainer for my job, so today was my first day training someone else. And yeah, you don't realize what other people don't know until
You've got it.
It's a
you
Like-
cannot assume anything.
flying feline.
You pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And then dumb it down.
And then see if you need to dumb it down from there, because you might. So we got some awesome people in the chat. Of course, Kirby piping in is first. Such a dork. Reckless Trucker, what is up? Frog G, yes, not one for on time. It happens. We got Leggy in the chat. How are you doing? Flying Feline Skull, beautiful lady. And yeah, this is Dice James and Dudes. Oh, good shit! You brought out the torch.
Yeah.
I've seen
Really
lightsabers less hot.
Sometimes the only way to clear it out is to burn it out.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Gotta
Wow.
clear out that black gold.
Oh my god. So in the brief time, in my late teens, my brief time smoking or partaking of the herb using a pipe. Yeah, how many times have you ended up with that black shit on your tongue?
Oh yeah. Pipe shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You just gotta
hazard.
clean it.
Ew.
Yeah, that's resin.
It did not happen to me, but did happen to my girlfriend at the time, and that is not a pretty look.
No, it's not. It's pretty
Hello,
funny,
Nita. Welcome on Facebook.
Oh, what's up, Vita? Yay! All
Feel
right.
free to hit that like on the Facebooks.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just throwing this out there, I would like to say a huge thank you to my brother for finally liking our Facebook page after a couple years of having it. I appreciate you very much, Trace. You're awesome.
Appreciate it, extended brother.
It was so funny. I was like, all of a sudden Facebook was like 71 notifications. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I know I don't, like check this ever. But, oh shit. Sai, highlight Frog G. Do y'all see Frog G's
Hold on.
Abby? Look at that. Look at Frog G's new Abby.
shit!
No, that one's bigger.
What?
Hell yeah, that looks
I
cool.
love it. So good. Rolls for transformation. Oh, Froggy.
Nat 20.
I love you,
I'm
man.
assisting because the word trans is in there. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, 1d6
Just-
bonus.
On a nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You roll with advantage.
Sometimes on skill challenges, nat 20s aren't enough.
That.
Fair.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we ready to kick this thing off? I'm trying to get this artwork finally in a.
That's fine.
This was from
Torch
last
works.
week,
Torch works.
What?
which I don't think anyone saw.
What?
This was from
Oh.
last week.
Okay.
I want to ride the Gravitron.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Woodrow, it's on you.
So, last time on Dice Dames and Dudes, the party sat in on the rebels' discussion about their next course of action. The conversation got slightly sidetracked when the old goblin Woji notices Kirby's soul in the raven. The rebels offered a place for the party to hold up for a while everyone figures out what exactly their next move is going to be. Back on Ryzen 4, the party hunted down one of the remaining pieces to Kronos' ship, a small piece of tech that just so happened to be catching a ride around the jungle inside a undead Tyrannosaurus. Shortly after dispatching the undead dinos, the party ran into an old acquaintance. So that's where we pick up. You all are in the a little
anti-noodle. I
dense,
forgot.
yeah, an old dense, thick part of the jungle where the light doesn't really come down. And there's a small little hut sort of built up between two of the smaller trees in the area. And Suzaria and you are all sort of standing around the hut looking down in on the young girl who seems to be having a fit. And Auntie Noodle sort of bent down over there. You guys had just gotten done discussing the fact that she's here trying to find a cure for her daughter's sickness, and that's really all she's interested in. She was expecting you guys to try and kill her, but if that's not the case, she would like to some sort of parlay, and maybe if there's everything you'd ever need, she would be able to repay this favor later.
Did we say over the last week that we were going to have a discussion about what to do with her?
And we totally did not. We're terrible.
Nope.
Shit.
But so where we left off, I believe she was having a fit. You guys all felt the symptoms you were feeling get more intense.
Each one of us, the glitches, for lack of a better term, that we were all experiencing.
They sort of got more intense, and you started to realize that being around this girl had some sort of effect. And I think, Kronos, you scanned her, correct?
Yes.
With your device.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for specifying. What did
Well,
you
I mean, with
scan her? Holy shit.
Well, no, we did something. We took some kind of bio reading of her, and that's how we knew that there was some kind of either that or it was Cesaria that told us that there's some kind of connection.
She said she believes that there could be a connection, but because she
Believes,
saw
yeah.
a personality in the girl that she saw in you too. When she said she saw something in your eyes that wasn't you.
Yes.
So there was that. That was the connection she saw. But I believe you did scan and you found that she's still game code technically. She's never really got an actual physical body. So she's always been code. So you scan her, and you do get that she is experiencing corruption, basically data corruption. The code is being corrupted, and it's similar code. You've seen it before. You think it definitely has something to do with Manos and the previous, him in the ship and in the game and destroying it and stuff like that, and kind of seeping into everything. It's sort of this ambient passive coding in the background. And when you scan it, and all that stuff goes through, Suzaria also, she kind of, as the girl's going through her fit, kind of goes down on the other side of the girl across from Auntie Noodle and kind of takes the girl's hand and goes to prick her and prick her with a thorn that she sort of forms out of the ground with her druid craft and goes to prick her thumb. And then Auntie Noodle kind of goes what are you doing? And then Auntie Noodle Suzaria goes, nothing, or you've done much worse, so I wouldn't worry about this. And she basically pokes her thumb, gets blood on the thorn, and goes gives it to you, hands it up to you, Kronos, and says some DNA might yield more results. And there's basically a little spot on your data pad where you can actually like place the blood or flakes of skin or hair or something like that, and it will
bioscanner of
yeah
biomaterial. All right, I'll
actually
set
have
that on. Huh?
So when you do that, there's a scan that clicks over, and there's on your pad that says anomalous synchronicity, and it sort of goes back to your brain scan that you got from your ship back in session 1, and it highlights a section of your brain scan and then your blood work, and then in your blood work there's some anomalies that don't show up. It's almost kind of like in a way how cancer can mimic the body's self, so it can't fight. So there's it's sort of hid in your body as a real virus instead of coding. But with her DNA and all that stuff in your data storage, it's sort of you find pieces within that virus that when they break down to its base coding, you can find it that it connects to the code of the girl.
Did y'all see this shit from Shae?
Yes.
And then that.
Nice.
Terrible.
We had a discussion about what exactly we were going to do. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of what?
I don't trust this little girl.
That's my point.
I know, but I also... I mean, if she just code, is it really killing?
Okay, I may not trust this little kid either. I don't have the history that you two have with Noodle.
Sure you do. Our history began when you were with us.
Well, yeah, I was there, but I don't really remember the introduction of the kid. I just remember the kid and the dinosaur and Auntie Noodle being a pain in our ass.
You don't remember...
I remember her kidnapping her, and that's about it.
You don't remember the kid in the tavern?
And
all of the tomfuckery that was going on with that shit.
Nope. I do not. I don't think I was there for that.
You were, because that's when we cut off Kirby's hand, too. And Manos got set free. You were just downstairs drinking it up, and that little girl was being all fucking creepy. And shit. In the tavern. Trying to let in fucking vampires.
Fuck's sake, I don't remember any of that.
Maybe next time, drink less.
It must have been something good on top. I don't know. Listen, when you've been as many places as I have, you hear weird shit all the time. You don't take all of it seriously.
Well, you should take this seriously, because this little girl has tried to kill us a couple of times and done the whole, I'm just an innocent little girl. Like, nah,
okay, so I understand.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I would like to find out the connection here. I would like to, I don't know, see if we can use this to our advantage.
Fine, but she starts looking at me weird, spinning her head around, vomiting green shit or something. I'm stabbing her right in the heart.
No, we always make this decision. We always are like, no, let's wait. Always. That's literally what put us here.
I know, but Auntie Noodle apparently can make friends with T-Rexes and stick them on our asses, so I'm not exactly...
We dealt with them easily.
Easy for you to say. I was a squeak toy.
You barely took damage. I was there. I poked it in the eye. You were fine.
Uh-huh.
We apparently ruined Flying Feline. She got a new keyboard because she had to have the clicky typing and sound in her life.
It is the clickety-clicketiest.
The fun part is, when Shae was asking me what keyboard I wanted, I sent her a link to a keyboard, and she actually got me the quieter version of that keyboard.
I didn't mean to.
Like, I wanted one as obnoxiously bad as hers. Just to give that shit back. Mm-hmm. But, no.
There can only be one!
She did that on purpose?
Yeah. See, look.
Cloud.
It's soothing. episode 2 because of you guys. It drove me fucking nuts. Man, we should have bought stock in clickety clackety mechanical keyboards. Apparently, we're raising the sales.
Okay, this is Woodrow. This is to Ramen. So, what exactly do you want, and what exactly are you offering?
You said that's to Ramen.
Yeah.
So she kind of looks up at you, and she goes, "I'm lost here. I don't know. I don't really have a home. I was hoping maybe you were going somewhere else, or I can make a home here. I don't want my daughter to die, and Johnny was supposed to help me find a new place, protect us." And you can see that she's having a existential crisis.
Yeah, go
ahead.
At what point have you ever been helpful to us? Name once.
So she sort of starts. She starts to say sentences and stop and stutter and think, and then she stops for a moment and has like this blank stare on her face, and a single tear sort of runs down the side of her eye, and she goes like, "I don't know if I've ever had a choice." And then she just sort of like puts her hands down and looks down at the girl and sort of rubs her hand on her face.
I turn to the rest to Kronos and Brynn and make the universal motion for jerking off.
You're such a dick.
And
which transcends universes.
Well, no, here's my point. Everyone has a fucking sob story. That's no reason to be a dick to us. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to me about fighting your programming. That's the only reason Brynn and I are here.
That is true. Oh gosh, I'm gonna regret this.
No regrets.
No, I already.
No regrets.
I already do.
Mm.
Give her one more fucking chance.
Brynn, when you say that, you everything sort of, you like close your eye, like roll your eyes, right, and only you sort of have a long blink where you completely like sort of close your eyes and open them, and when you do, you're sort of not in the same spot anymore, and all the other people around you look at Brynn. She sort of like rolls her eyes and closes them, and they snap open for a moment, and they're just all white, like cloudy white, like there's clouds sort of moving around, and like milky clouds sort of moving around in her eyes. And Brynn, you see a woman similar in stature to you, but a little taller, long blonde hair, braids, tats on her face with red paint, war paint, armor that's actually pretty extensive, pretty plate, like thick plate mail, and wings that somehow extend out the back of it and sort of open up, and like a beam of light sort of comes down in between you, and let me see real quick. I got to open your thing because I think the name of this entity is on the axe, but it literally just went out of my head. I've got like a million names in my head, but she sort of puts her hand on your shoulder and says like, "In times of need, you could always call on me. I'm getting stronger. I have more to offer you." And she sort of opens her eyes, and when you guys all sort of see Brynn kneel down and reach into her side pouch. And do you have any like dice or anything like that on you? I can't remember if the Barbarian came or the Goliath came with like bone dice or anything like that, but we'll say for the purposes of this that was in like your starting equipment.
Okay.
And she sort of kneels down and rolls these bone dice on the ground. And Brynn, when you open your eyes, you've sort of already rolled them, and you're looking down at the dice, and they sort of make a shape that it's not the numbers on the dice, it's the way the dice have sort of oriented themselves along the other stuff on the ground, and you get the feeling of woe for. I think it's Wayne and Woe or Wary and Woe about. So the decision you get to let her stay, or it could be both bad and good. There's no determination one way or the other.
I get a vision from good old Skegyold, and it's nice.
It's augury. You have the ability to augury. So you can basically once per short rest or long rest, if you're about to make a decision within the next 30 minutes, you can use that spell, no material components, nothing, and you can just basically ask her for advice on the decision, and you'll roll dice and get either I think one of 4 answers where it's good or bad, bad, good, and then indecisive.
Okay, so we just got an indecisive. Is that what you're telling me?
It could be both good or bad. It's not necessarily indecisive.
Both
Okay.
good and
Indecisive
bad.
is different.
As in, there
Yeah.
are things that'll help and there are things that will hurt about the decision.
Okay. Yeah, but that means that regardless, if we do one or we do the other, it's still going to be motherfuck.
I just wanted to introduce you to that spell, but
yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm giving her one more chance, and then I'm gonna cut her fucking throat out if she crosses us again. By the way, welcome Shadowpunk, who's just chopping in.
Welcome.
It's kind of like a video game. It's D&D. So dice, dames, and dudes. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Yeah, okay. Cool. Well, hey, at least now I've got something to
Augury.
help me decide.
Ooh, a
And you can
second
also-
level.
You can also do clairvoyance with it too, which lets you, in a place you're familiar with or a place that's obvious, like behind a door or somewhere where it's really close, you can make an orb, a sensor orb, kind of like scry for a little bit and kind of peer around for I think like a minute or so, or maybe a little longer. But that's another
Very
thing you
cool.
can do. Yeah.
1 mile.
That's your
10 minutes. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I like it.
And then so you guys when you say that out loud, and you can see Undead Ramen was looking at the anti-noodle. She was looking at the dice too, and you can see she saw something in it, and then heard you say that, and she's sort of like, if she needed to breathe, she would let out a sigh, but she sort of just like begins to weep silently. You can see her body sort of shaking like she is weeping, but yeah, she's not really releasing any tears anymore, just that one single one, and just silent noise. But she's trying to hide her face from you, like, puts her head down so the hood covers, and she just kind of sitting there next to the girl, and yeah, that's good. Okay.
Is anyone going to say anything?
So
I was waiting for that to pop up.
Oh.
let out a sigh.
Okay.
So Suzaria looks up and at you, Brynn, and goes like, I think that might be the best decision for now. Well, you guys have access to a ship. If you want to rest, you can always rest at my place. There's also a port city a little ways away. Now that you have the ship, you can reach it per scene. You can find some gambling, some trade, something there, stretch your legs. But yeah, I'm gonna head back. And she sort of looks at Anti-Noodle and she goes like, I would suggest you stay here and don't go running off. It can be dangerous for you here. And she sort of stands up and walks out of the tent.
That is the understatement of the century.
It's my cantrip.
Nice. Nice. That is definitely something this would do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling my shot.
All right, I'm just gonna rest to make sure I have access to all of my shit because that was intense.
Okay. So yeah, you can either rest here, but for you, a rest, it would be a long rest, so 8 hours. So
Yeah.
you can either chill here with Anti-Noodle or go back with Suzari to her place. And
I'm going back with Cesare. I ain't sleeping
Yeah.
with Anti-Noodle around me.
and then yeah, you've got Renage's ship or the Under the Stars in the Grove. Even though it's not nighttime right now, it's kind of about to be noonish.
Where I rest is based on where Brynn is going to rest, so
Yeah.
make a choice.
We're going back to the ship.
I had no idea I was muted. Been talking this whole time. Yep.
I thought you were just
Great.
making weird faces.
Ah,
I mean, I'm do that as well.
I
Right.
know. That's why.
That's why it's so difficult to tell.
Was there anything you want to backtrack on real quick and make sure we don't miss?
I turned to Noodle and say, make no mistake, this is your last opportunity.
Let's go ahead and make me an intimidation check. An imitation check.
Imitation.
20, dirty 20, 13 and 7.
30-20.
Ooh.
All right. Make a little note. Okay. So yeah.
I'm just curious. A 1. I had to get that out of the way. It's still a 14. I mean, but still.
Yeah.
So you guys
Okay.
head back to the
That's
grove,
really nice.
and if you guys want any food, rest. You guys don't necessarily need to sleep because an 8-hour rest, or like the rest, doesn't necessarily need to be sleep. You can just like hang out, and if there's anything you guys want to do that's strenuous, like read books or something like that you want to do, or learn up, like read up on technology or history or something like that. You'll have 8 hours. You can get down towards like learning a new skill, learning like if you want to learn history or arcana, something like that, or a little bit more on the flying. Oh yeah, you don't have your starship here. You guys took Renaja's ship, right?
It's in my pocket.
Pocket ship.
Shrink Ray it. Turn it large.
Rolls
instead
for
of huge.
imitation check. The D6 rolls a 10. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. The dice is a mimic.
Run away! Are there any books or anything on Renaja's ship that has like anything to do with barbarians or like my people?
So, not books, but you can definitely pick up one of the data pads and start going through it. And if you and Dis are hanging out, you guys can. Because I don't know, have you had any of the technology in your hands yet, Brynn, over the course of this time?
I'm pretty sure the fact that I could make whatever food I wanted.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a defining moment. Very early on for Brynn. She ate a lot.
So then you can use a data pad then. Probably if you can use the menu screen, it works the same way basically. But you'll go through and you can find, if you like, with the help of Renaj and stuff, and where like basically the internet is, and you can start looking up, sort of going over and looking up stuff, whatever you want. And if you're specifically looking for barbarians and stuff like that, you find Terrace is like one of the main planets where barbarians come from. There's barbarians that came from Thune, but they were dwarven and they were more inclined to not travel and burrow down and sort of become traders. But they eventually got out of the barbaric ways and became like merchants pretty fast. The Minotaurs, the Orcs, and the humans, and Goliaths happen to be Inhumans. Goliaths are basically a tribe of humans in here. They all had extensive wars and tribal tit for tats on Terrace for a long time. There's rituals like Blood Eagle and stuff that you find in some of the Goliath culture. They at one point on Terrace had like a city with giants, but the giants all died out. And you find out that some of this stuff is actually pretty similar to, if you can recall anything from the game you originally came from. It's kind of similar in some ways. There's obviously some different things, and like how it's advanced and become tech based is very different in
Right.
in some ways. But yeah, it's pretty similar. And going through that, you kind of get a little feeling of home almost, a sense that there's like a place, maybe with all the stuff, all the weirdness and difference, there's actually more similarity out there than strangeness, even though that might not be exactly true, but it's a little hope right now.
Okay.
With all the weird shit you've seen.
I mean, at this point, fuck. I'm being chased by giant fucking dinosaurs and shit.
So give me, I know you don't have the best one, but just roll a d20 and add your wisdom to it for me.
Kronos, are you with us where she's reading?
I mean, I followed you guys back. We're all back at the camping was
9.
on the ship.
Yes.
9, okay.
9.
Heard.
Yeah.
God, what is up with Twitter?
It's solar flares, man, and CERN.
It keeps marking everything as new over and over again.
Mercury
Oh,
in
God.
retrograde.
Thank you.
And then cast ...
We all wait on Viagra.
Okay. Interesting. So, this is in the ship, right?
Yes. How much? Yeah. Go ahead.
And it works because there's enough room for a large creature. So, as Brynn's reading, Brynn, you notice the data pad is getting extremely tiny in your hands, and it seems to shrink like by twice its size in your hands, and you sort of like kind of go to pick it up and look at it to shake it to see what's wrong, and you realize everything around you has shrunk, and oh my god, the world is shrinking.
What the fuck?
And then Dis climbs up your back, plants herself on your shoulders, and starts braiding your hair. I needed more room to work.
The hell
things are
did you
intricate.
do?
By the way,
hell did you do?
by the way, you're 13 feet tall right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
13.2.
But you were
Can't
sitting
give it-
down, so
Yeah.
it worked.
So I'm the height I would be if I was standing up, but I'm still sitting down cross-legged. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can we talk about boundaries and safe words and like
Ooh.
consent when it comes to this shit? You just cast me huge all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, you could have tried to resist.
If you want to, if you're sort of want to resist, you can break it, attempt to break it.
You caught me off guard. Just the worst.
I tug her braids.
Ow.
Settle
This
down.
way.
This Brynn runs Bata Town.
When Dis needs a ride, she'll increase Brynn's size.
Oh my god, you know
That's
what you
new
guys
lyrics
can
for
do
the
now?
song. Yeah.
You guys can fastball special. In case you need to assassinate that, throw you, and then you can go another 500 feet at the end of the throw.
Does that work?
If she were to throw you and then it went to your turn, yeah, you would have moved the whatever she threw you, and then it would be your turn. That whatever that distance is, you would get your poof. So if there was something more than 500 feet away, you could always try it.
We could try, and you could hope I roll well.
Yep.
I mean, my
That
character is what, 5 foot short.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is my height on here?
Oh, we may not have put it on there, but it's in the
I'm like
notes or
5.5
the
feet
description.
tall,
Yeah.
so I could shrink myself down to
Oh no.
2'9".
Is it a concentration spell?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, one or the other. But still.
Yeah, but see, I would weigh 1/8 what I weigh right now.
Yep.
Be like
Which is
throwing a
like-
BB.
Yeah.
Put you in
Yeah,
a sling. I'm just kidding. I don't think he'd be that.
Oh my
that
gosh,
small.
Slingshot.
Okay. Anyway, what are you up to, Kronos?
By the way, you now weigh like 1,800 pounds.
I'm gonna walk over and ask Renage about the city nearby.
I like how just like in my head that all happened, and then Kronos just is like looking at that, smoking his pipe, and he goes, "Yep," and just like takes a step turn and goes back to Renage.
Yep,
Just
that's
does it
exactly how it went.
turn on heel like no, I don't have the capacity for this today.
Okay.
Bye guys.
And we're gone. So yeah, you get into the cockpit where Renage has sort of got his feet kicked up, and he's doing kind of a similar thing. He's just having a little drink. and looks up at you, and he's like, "Oh, the Persine, the trade town that's nearby."
Yeah. What's
Anything
what's the story on that? Anything interesting there?
Generally, it's so the void elves have this main hub out in space, a space station they built called Astaroth,
Mm.
and eventually a couple of them just got tired of living in space. They kind of missed the home, so they came down to this moon and landed their ships and built a city around their main one with a bunch of their ship parts. And then some wild elves came in and kind of built up a grove on part of the city, and they started living together. It's been here for a while, actually. But yeah, it's got some pretty good gambling. There's a little bit of fighting, a little bit of unshadiness. Not too much, actually. It's pretty legit trade post.
Okay. So we might be able to get some supplies there.
Yeah,
I'm still
definitely.
missing. I still need to do some research for this ammo that I'm still trying to figure out. But maybe there's a shop there that could point me in the right direction.
Yeah,
No
I'm
one
sure
pay
there probably
attention
is.
to the map.
Are
In fact, there.
are you looking to head that way?
Well, I just heard about this from Cesaria, so I figured I'd ask you since, you hang out here a lot, right?
Actually, I try to avoid the elven places. I know my looks, high elf, but yeah, no, I hate this place. I try to avoid the crown at all costs.
Right.
They scare me. I'm not gonna lie, and you can tell with your insight he's not lying. They scare the fuck out of him.
Yeah, fair enough. Is there a lower profile place that is better for procuring supplies then?
Oh, I mean, in this area, no, Persine would probably be the lowest place
Okay.
because on Rising Prime, they got major cities up there. And there's lots of traffic. Even the Desert Moon Rising 3's got more traffic than here. It's got a lot of trade and precious gems.
Okay.
What kind of ammo are you looking to make? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know if you've seen my companion Brynn's gun that kind of tends to liquefy things.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I can't really help with that.
Oh.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a bit of a conundrum. I'm slowly but surely chipping away at it.
Yeah.
Bach has been helpful as well. I feel like I need to do some research on it and possibly find the rest of the supplies. But figured I'd find out what's going on with that over in that city.
Well, you can probably find someone who knows something about it there. There's a good number of technicians there with them. A lot of people here being elves. We like to tinker. Almost as much as the dwarves and gnomes.
All right. I'm okay. Hopefully they will be on the down low because I don't. Have you seen a weapon like that before? Before I go showing a cartridge like this around a seedy underbelly city, have you ever seen a cartridge like that before? And hold him like show him a spent one.
Yeah, he sort of looks at it, and I mean, it does just kind of resemble an energy cell, but
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it depends on what you're putting in it, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Alright.
you get the sense that he doesn't know a whole lot about guns and ammo and stuff
Right.
like that. He was asking purely out of like childlike curiosity.
Okay. Probably be a good idea to talk to Bach. I don't say that out loud. I'm thinking that,
Yeah.
I think that. All right. Thank you very much, man. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah, no
Head
worries.
back to see what the dynamic duo are up to.
I have finished braiding her hair at this point, and I'm thinking we should head to the city. I want to explore something that's not a musty hangar or a conference table or the same places we've been over and over again. Preferably someplace without zombie dinosaurs.
Well, that's exactly what I was coming back here to ask the two of you. Can you hear me up there?
By the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
And you guys are
Send
resting.
it to the mental link.
You guys are resting before you go to the city, right? So you guys are refreshed when you get there, or are you guys?
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on the time of day, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So like I said, it was approaching noon when you guys got back to Cesar, like finished up with that whole undead thing. You guys had gotten to the planet pretty early, actually.
Oh, so we can head out at like 8, and that won't be too late.
Yeah. So if you guys
think.
want to rest, you could go hit the town up a little bit later. And it being a port city, yeah, you don't think that there's going to be something open constantly, you think?
Yeah.
Because that's what Renage says.
All right. Well, then
All right,
let's do that then.
I hit long rest.
All right.
Shae, hit whatever rest you feel comfortable with. By the way, your hair's all rebraided.
Oh, thank you.
And you're normal size again.
I was gonna say, how long am I giant?
It only lasts 10 minutes.
Okay. So
I think.
you braided fast, is what you're saying.
Yes, because, it was a lot easier to work with the hair twice as voluminous.
As you're shrinking down, like a hand gets caught in the braid as it's shrinking. Fuck.
I apologize, it lasts 1 minute. Would you like me to roll Dex, Woodrow?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
I rolled a 20.
Did you
Nat 20?
seriously?
A nat 20.
So nat 20, yeah, you can get a pretty solid braid in there.
I'm using my thieves' tools and like lockpicks and shit to.
There's just like shit everywhere. As I shrink, it all just falls out of my hair.
No, it's like combs and picks guiding the braids, so I can do it really fast and,
Oh
and
my
neatly.
gosh.
Like that chick in the tent
Yeah.
at Renfest.
Yep. She was pretty epic.
Yeah.
All right. So we got long resting.
Yep.
Yes.
There we go.
Well, I'm long resting. I guess I'll play dice while I wait for you guys.
You can play dice with Renage if you want.
Okay.
He's got a little bit of money.
I don't want
Let's
to.
see.
I almost said something completely against my character. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to
rob
bankrupt
him.
the guy.
You don't want to bankrupt him. So let's see.
I don't like being a dick for being a dick's sake. It's just, I think that there are many and varied reasons for being a dick, and they're all acceptable to me.
So, when you go in, when you go to the cockpit after your trance, you can see that Renage is he's got like a data pad in his hand, but his feet are kicked up on the consoles, and his head's sort of back, like cocked to the side on the chair, and he's like partially asleep. You can tell he's not all the way asleep, but he's definitely just kind of like gotten bored, and there's nothing for him to do out here in the jungle being a city boy, so he's just kind of dozing off.
How do you play dice in this universe? You know what? I'm gonna nudge his leg with my leg when I sit down.
So he's
Power move.
It nudges his legs sort of off the console, and it like wakes him up as into like a sitting position. He's like, "Huh? What? You? Hey, what?
Hey, you.
What do you need? What do you need?"
What do you do for fun around here while I wait for the sleepy people to be unsleepy?
Uh,
You got any games?
Like games where you gamble? He sort of like cocks an eye at you.
I pull out my dice set.
Ooh.
I mean, maybe.
Okay. So, what game do you play? And if you don't have a game, like is there one in the head you wanted to play, or did you want to play a game that exists in this universe?
Fuck it, I'm going ghetto. Let's play craps.
Okay. Space craps. Just kidding. Fantasy craps.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, there are no cards, so we can't play Pazak from Star Wars.
Crabs.
You actually could, but it would be
be.
it would be hard to do because I actually have rules for that for D10. But it would be hard to do over online without like, yeah, because you have like a hand with your dice and yeah, you'd have to have like cameras on your dice and shit to move, like to keep track. It'd be annoying. There's a version of craps called Sultan Sevens, or it's kind of like craps. Let's see. Craps is just sevens and 12s, isn't it?
7-11.
Oh, 7-11. Okay.
Yeah. On the first roll, you need to get a 7 or 11, and if you
With
don't
two
get
dice.
with 2 dice, and if you don't get a 7 or 11, whatever you roll the first time is your new target. And if you get a 7 or 11 after that, once you have the new target, you instantly lose.
Oh, I see. Okay. Damn. Okay, so you guys roll to see who goes first.
Sure. What are we rolling?
See, high on the 2 dice. Why not?
Oh, 2d6? Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 9.
A 9, got 10, 6 and a 4. So
Smoking
and
a
then smoking a pine cake. With the betting in craps, how does the betting work?
You bet up front, and then if you don't make a 7 or 11, then you can bet again on whether or not you're going to get, your
new
number
target?
twice. Yeah,
Okay.
and it doesn't have to be exact. So like you can roll a 3 and a 4 as your new target, and then roll a 5 and a 2, and it still counts.
Yeah, you just get it's just a number.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna go first. And oh. Ooh, we got a 5, 3 and a 2. And so, oh yeah. So I forgot. How much are we betting? He kind of pulls down 25 gold and slides it over, and they're in these like long, sort of elongated oval coins.
How do they compare to normal gold? Like I would find
It's-
on a character sheet.
It would be one, like it's even. So it'd be
Okay.
1 for 1. That's just what the gold coins look like here.
All right. I pulled 25 out.
Boom. Okay, so that's 25. And then yeah, he's still gonna get a 5. I'm gonna keep the same roll. And then so yeah, he goes first and gets 5.
Now he has to roll again, and if he gets a 7 or 11, I get his money.
Oh no shit! So he got a 5 and a 2.
So I take his money.
Yeah. He's just like he just sort of looks and he's like, "What is this game?"
Now, if he hadn't gotten a 7 or 11 on the new roll,
Yeah.
he could have paid to keep trying.
Yeah, you would bet again to get to try. Now, when you try again, would you go for 7 again? Like, would it restart at 7 and 11s, or would you be saying at your target?
He would still be trying to hit his target, but I think I
Target.
would get some of his money at that point. I don't know.
I'm glad that you guys are playing a game you don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
This is going well.
All right, fine. I'll look it up. Perhaps.
Well, this is teaching him a game he doesn't know.
But Dis also doesn't know it. That's the problem.
Clearly.
Okay. So you win if your first roll is a 7 or 11. You lose if it's a 2, a 3, or a 12. Any other number becomes the point, and the point must roll again before a 7 to win.
Okay.
There you go.
He
All right.
kind of looks at you. He goes like, "Okay, I think I'll try again." Puts another 25 out. And what are the losing numbers? Whoops.
What do you roll?
6 and a 4, 10.
Okay.
I think he rolls again, right?
He does roll again.
Choo, 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 choo.
He does not want a 2, a 3, a 12, or a 7.
Okay, you got a 9.
Give me 1 second.
Don't you like split pots and craps too?
Well, there are different ways to bet. So there's the pass line, the don't pass.
Here, let me let me ask you this, just to save us some time. When you're gambling with him, are you going to be trying to cheat him and obfuscate, or are you going to be trying to play him fair the whole time?
I'll play him fair.
You'll play him fair? Okay.
Yeah.
So give me with your D20, give me a die, like a roll, and just add your wisdom or intelligence if it's higher, actually, or charisma because it's a mental stat and you can like intimidate and sort of like push and stuff like that. So one of your mental stats.
I'm rolling charisma because it's my highest, and I rolled a 14 plus 5, so 19.
19. Okay. So he got a 17. And so you already, we'll say, won the 50 from him. So over the course of the 4 hours, what he's willing to lose, we'll say, is...
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. I like the key.
7. So you end up winning another 70 gold off him, basically, before he's done. So that's 70 plus the 50. So 120 total.
Before he's like, all right, no more.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
And then
Bernage.
as he says, he's like, I don't know what that game is, but I'm never playing it again. And about that time is like a little more time runs out, and everyone sort of gets up, and he's like, you guys are, so we're heading to Persine for a little day trip or night trip,
I hand him
I guess?
35 gold back and say, now you know.
Huh, well.
Aw.
And you said it was called crap? I mean, it makes sense. And he sits down and he starts...
Yeah, you crap at it.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously.
Did you taught him how to play craps?
I'm pretty sure you made up some of those rules. No, I'm just kidding.
It's craps, kid. That's usually how that shit goes.
Crap sucks.
But-
Don't ever play it.
Goose stomping on my boobs. Cheesy titty.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just reading things. I'm doing other things.
Yeah.
Reckless Trucker, thank you for the $2 and meow.
And the $5
Lola,
from
thank you
Lola.
for the $5. Support good content. You're going through them too fast. I didn't get to see the second half of that. Love this. Thank you very much, Lola, and thank you again. Reckless Trucker says hello and smell my feet for $2.
It's better than show armpit.
It is. It sadly is.
He's not
Why is
angry.
the taco so angry?
The taco's happy-ish, mostly.
Ish.
He's a little
happy-esque. He's happy adjacent. Yes,
He's in the realm of happy.
We're going to
Wow.
Persine.
All right.
Yes.
So yeah, he basically says this, he's pretty sure you made up some of those rules. Starts turning on the ship systems and stuff to get it going. He's like, "All right, night trip," and sort of pick up out of the grove and start heading off over the tree canopies. And after a little bit, you can see the canopy sort of opens up, and you can see a big river that goes that's running down, almost like the Amazon. And on inside one side of it, tucked into where the trees have been sort of cut away, is this big shining like gem in the night, and you can see all sorts of lights. A couple ships taking off and landing from a little starport there as Renage sort of comes in and starts to land in one of the starports. You can see there's one part that actually looks pretty residential, and there's like a hill with this sort of a ship sort of parked on it that's got a bunch of open space around it to the southeast. And then the north is mainly this big bazaar of ships that are all encircling a really big like colony ship in the middle that sort of is the dome and gives them their shade, and was what a lot of these other little places have been built of when they're taking pieces of it off. There's also to the southwest a grove, orchard grove, where a lot of the wood elves have made like huts and stuff that sort of along the road there or in the trees nearby. And that has a big fruit trade there. And as you guys sort of come in, you can smell when the ship opens up a lot of sweets and cooking fruits, and it's a smell you guys haven't had in a long time. It's very homely and gives you a little breath of like, oh, maybe we don't have to. Maybe everything isn't dead, smelly jungle and undead monsters and effluence. And
We can actually have nice things for a change.
Well, when you started describing it, I'm like, oh, nice, a hive of scum and villainy. Okay, yeah.
No, well, the way Renaj
good
described it
smelling
is, yeah, the way Renaj described it is, it's not. It's actually it's a low key place, but it's relatively nice and pristine. It's not super bad. There are whatever your thieves and your criminals here, but it's not like Tatooine or some shit like that or whatever.
I was expecting Mos Eisley. Silver, thank you so much for re-membershipping, if that's a verb. Welcome back.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Silver.
What's up, Silver? Good to see you.
Is this all tract housing down below?
Yeah, it's basically like huts and stuff that have been built by some of the humans here and the high elves. They're sort of like housing district.
Oh, that's the
That's
lab.
the suburbs. That's the suburbs, dude.
There's the starport. Okay, I thought this was the starport because it was kind of shaped like a freighter.
So if you look, there's actually the Renaja's ships on there. So you guys are technically in that, right there. And when you guys come out or when you land, Renaj sort of starts walking down the bay, and he's like, "I'll show you at least out to the starport, and you guys can pick wherever you want to go from there. The bazaar's a pretty big place. Chance's Alley is just below it. That's where all of your scummy types are going to be mostly. The housing districts to the south, you won't really deal with much down there, unless someone wants to, I guess, invite you over for dinner or something. And then if you want to get some really good food, the Orchard Groves has some of the best fruits and vegetables you can get, and some of the best cooks in this part of the solar system. So, yeah. And he sort of walks down, and someone comes up, bald wood elf, or wild elf comes up. And he goes, "Sir, we have you docked in and chartered over here. If you don't mind." And he sort of waves his data pad at him, and he's like, "There you go. We should be here for, at least 4 hours?" He kind of like looks back at you guys and kind of like gives you a guesstimate, like 4 hours should be good for now. I could always pay if we're here longer.
How much does it cost to dock?
Oh, it's 10 gold per hour.
Not in like a gay rest stop.
Stop it.
Of
He just sort of like kind of looks at you, like cocks his head.
10 gold an hour?
Mm-hmm.
I see. If we're here longer than 4 hours, I'll pay.
Renaj kind of looks at you like,
Considering you just
okay.
cleaned him out, that's probably fair.
And you can see that you get the sense that Renaj, he's the type of person, whenever he has a little bit of money, he acts like he's super rich and then blows it all immediately. So that's he's probably going to be broke by the time he leaves here, considering other people took those chunks of gold. Although he was probably happy to come back to this planet. When you guys exit this starport on that road that Dis is kind of touching right now.
This?
Yeah. You come out, and the road, it basically goes right into the bazaar, and the other one sort of goes around, and over here is more like your blacksmithing, heavy tech sort of stuff on that side. And you can see there's a little booth with a bunch of little, like those little colored squares. You guys are sort of walking around, and you can see that there's little booths there with all these little trinkets and sellers and people barking out. And one of the things that catches your eye as you're walking in this area, there's two things. One is a little circus that's sort of in that open white space. You all, Kronos and Brynn, you guys sort of noticed the circus, and one of the things is like a little tent, and there's sort of a goblin out front who's going around, like, yes, gather round, here's your tip hat, and here's the show. And out of the tent, you see a hell puppy with a little monkey in a cloak riding it, and you can see the hell puppy sort of looking around, and it doesn't seem to notice you guys, and it sort of it's like walking around towards a hoop that seems to be set up for it, and the monkey sort of standing on it, and you can see the monkey sort of gets down low, and the hell puppy starts running towards it, and as the monkey's about to leap through the hoop, the goblin casts a little cantrip and lights the ring on fire, and the monkey jumps through, then the dog jumps through and sort of over, and they sort of like leap. The monkey then leapfrogs back onto the dog, and then sort of like puts his arms up, and then the goblin's like, "Ta-da!" and starts clapping. There's like a couple people there looking and like, "Yeah, yay!" And then
I'm showing Shae because that's the most pouty face I ever saw in my life. When she's like, "My puppy."
No. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Woodrow.
No, you're good. And
Ta-da! You got my dog.
as you guys are seeing that, another second thing you notice is that there's a starfighter similar to yours, kind of parked up here, but it's painted in a tiger like format, and there's sort of a tarp hung up over it to create shade. And there's these lights kind of hung from the ship, and underneath it is a table and a chair set up, and in the chair is a tabaxi, which is basically a cat person, and they're sort of got these silken clothes on, garbs around them, and they sort of just kind of looking at a little gem, and they look up and they see all you, and they kind of look, and oh, I forgot to ask. I assumed, so I didn't. I didn't ask. Did you alter yourself at all, Dis, or have you been walking around as a drow?
Hold on.
Now Dis is like, don't metagame.
Well, no, I assumed. That was my bad, because earlier Sai was talking about altering self, and I made that connection in my head and assumed.
Still drow.
Okay. So then, and when you're walking around, you do catch every now and then you're getting weird glimpses, but not everyone necessarily is taking notice because, reasons. But
I'll just assume they're looking at my tits.
but you do get a couple different kinds of glances. There's glances where it's like shock and awe. Every now and then, people will sort of follow for a little bit and sort of. When you kind of look and take notice of them, they'll sort of turn around and act like they're not doing something and sort of stop doing it. And you have a perception of 20, so I'm gonna make a check. So as you're walking around, you're getting these looks. You don't notice anything too crazy, but you are being like aware of your surroundings. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
23.
23. Okay, so you do notice because that was a 21. So, there is one of a high elf as you guys are sort of walking by, who is that blue tarp. If you look, that blue like tarp trinket salesman, and he's sort of like got something in his hands. You can't really tell what it is. It looks like it might be a ring, and he's sort of setting it back down. And it seemed to look at you before and looks at you again, but the look that you get from him is more of like he's taking note, and he sort of starts to walk away, like almost like he was double checking, and he sort of starts to walk away down that path towards the big, the big building that's sort of like a different bubbles, almost looking the thing you thought was the starport shape before. Yeah, he's sort of following him down. Give me.
Stealth.
Are you? Yeah, say, are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. Because you can also perform and not try and hide and just try to make it look like you're not following him too.
14 plus 27 total.
27. Just to see. Ooh, 18. So it was a 5, 18. Okay, no, that's not even close. That's 23. So yeah, he sort of doesn't see you, and he pulls out a little data pad and starts typing something in, and sends a message off, and starts looking around nervously and begins to walk. Go ahead.
As he pulls it out, I want to get so close behind. How tall is he?
He's a little taller than you, but just under 6 foot, so like 6'9", 6'10".
That's...
Or 5'9", 5'10", sorry.
I was
like, that's a lot taller.
Yeah, just a little taller.
Just a tiny bit. Just like
He's 13
two of
feet
you.
tall.
It's fine.
I mean, can I tell how close I can get without giving myself away?
So with that stealth, you feel like you could get right up on them, and sort of turn with them and head a different way. Like you get up right behind them, see what they're doing, and then as they're turning, you turn off and head a different way, so their back is like always to you.
I want to try to read what he's typing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can sort of like get over his shoulder or get close enough to sort of see what the message he's sending as you see him sending it. And as you do that, the message that you see him send is, I found them. And that's all it says. And it's sent off. And you get a sense that the message is going to be tracked. And at some point, someone's going to be coming here and looking for specifically you the way he was looking at you. So you don't know what your time scale is, but there's definitely a ticking clock now. A ticking clock now. A ticking tock.
The TikTok, yeah, you know.
Ricky Tikki Tavi, you know.
You know the popular
I ain't thought about that
3-second fucking TikTok. It's fine.
Where are we right now, by the way, when he sends the message?
So you guys were sort of watching the circus, and you had noticed the fighter when you had also noticed this person doing that. You sort of stopped looking at the fighter and kind of walked down to where you were, where those two roads kind of meet right there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you sort of, as he was turning around that corner and saying the message, you sort of went behind him, saw it, and then looped around and went back to the party. So you're kind of walking back to the party now, but you guys are all kind of where you have the group right now. But you saw the message, and they didn't seem to notice you with that 27 stealth.
Oh, I really don't want to head back towards my party.
Oh, okay.
I really want to find a dark spot somewhere in here.
A dark spot? Oh, it's like 8 at night. There's the dim light and dark spots everywhere.
Good. I take out my shadow karambit, hold it to his neck, and drag him to a dark spot.
Okay. Give me another stealth check real quick. Okay. Stealth check and an athletics, because you're grabbing them, and that's athletics.
Crikey.
Okay.
15 plus that is 28, and in athletics?
Yeah, and in athletics. So no one saw shit. You get your hand over their mouth.
19.
19. Yeah, so they're 5 plus 2 is a 7. So you sort of move in behind them as they're turning away and continue to turn them down that alley, and sort of you make it look like they were stumbling and you're kind of like helping them and they're a little drunk. But as soon as you get into the alley in the darkness, you sort of are behind them, turn them around, and have them completely at your mercy.
Let's have a discussion. Scream and you die before the sound carries. I'll release his mouth. Exactly who did you send that to?
The crown. Oh, I'm going to be rewarded for turning you in.
So the High Elves.
Of course.
You're going to be... That was worth your life.
To be honest, I didn't think you would notice me.
To be honest, you're a moron.
You get the sense that this is just some guy who thinks claiming you in is going to get him some reward, even though it'll probably just get him killed by them as well.
Is there a dumpster around here?
Give me a perception. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's some sort of, not necessarily something you can open. There's sort of some crates you'd have to try, and like they have like data pads on them. You could try to give me we'll say a check with your or D20 with your intelligence to try and open it, or you can just sort of like try to pin him behind it in a little space that's there.
Since he knows I'm here, I can't assassinate. Fuck it. His throat's getting cut, and I'm looking for a place to stuff the body.
Okay, good. Give me an attack.
Fucking hell.
He has you have advantage on the attack because you're grappling him, which means you get your sneak attack.
Okay, so 34 to hit.
34 to hit.
I'm nat 20, by the way.
Oh, okay. No shit.
Yes.
So
this is gonna be Critical.
Yeah, so if you want to roll damage, you can, but I'm telling you, the number of dice you have is more than his total hit points.
Hold up. 12d6 plus.
Is it your rapier? 3d8 or 68.
Why is it 68?
Isn't your rapier d8 and then you get 2d8 necrotic?
It's 2d6 necrotic.
Oh, so then sorry, my bad.
No, I'm just carving
2d8
him open with the karambit
46.
because I mean it's evil and I have to use it sometime. And
And it's the perfect time to use it. You did say you had it against his throat too. I was just imagining your rapier in my hand or in my head.
Sorry, Reckless Trucker, we didn't get to this as we were in the middle of RP. Thank you for the $2. Says, acts like he's rich. I feel attacked. Here's $2.
Talking about Renage.
Yes.
so 57 points to his throat.
50. Okay, so it's quick. It's silent. It's just like it's like a paper cut. Just
And then
There's
his head
no
falls
blood.
off.
yeah. There's no blood for a while, but then it starts to seep out and ooze, and he doesn't even make a noise. It's almost like the terror that seeped into him. He just like recedes into himself and lets it happen at that moment, and sort of just that last little.
Sleep,
go to sleep.
Wow.
But yeah, and so for the hiding of the body, if you're just gonna sort of leave him down in here, like kind of between some of the crates and not necessarily in anything, go ahead and give me a stealth check with disadvantage. Because this isn't you hiding, this is you hiding something else. So you don't have the advantage from your armor and stuff like that.
19 and a 6, and the 6 plus 13 is 19.
Was that
There we go.
19? Okay, so just to see if this lasts while you're here. Oh my god. Okay, this dude is not getting found till morning. So
Wow.
yeah, a 3, a 4, an 11, and a 7, and that's on the dice with +2s. So
Wow.
little perimeter guards here aren't gonna be doing much. And
They don't care.
you know, every now and then you will see like two people sort of walking, and they've got shirts that are sort of blue with a yellow stripe across it with a little number on it, and they have a little side pistol and like a baton and some utility stuff on their belts, and they do look like sort of security type just people, and on the back it basically just says warden as they're walking by, and you get they're just some type of security here, you know, some semblance of it, but the crown doesn't seem to have like a presence here in this little trade city. So now that this has done that, while that was happening, there was the circus going on. Is there anything you two would have liked to handle during the time?
I want to go up and see if the Hellhound recognizes me if I'm closer.
Yeah, you want to go make sure it sees you? 'Cause you noticed that it didn't see you.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just give me an animal handling check.
19.
Oh shit. Okay. So you sort of stumble forward, and how exactly do you approach the scene? You got the little monkey riding its back. There's a little ring on fire that the goblin's kind of putting out, like snaps her fingers and puts the fire out, and yeah, it's the dog is just sort of turning around and walking towards you, and it does like it's looking in your direction, so you have your chance.
So I'm just gonna say, let's see. I'm just gonna be like, "Is that my good boy?" and see if he reacts.
The head hears that, pops its head to the side, and as it does that, the monkey sort of almost falls off, but uses its tail and one of its legs to sort of grab at the side and clings underneath it, and you see the monkey's head sort of pop up on the chest of the hellhound, sort of underneath, looking up at you, and cocks its head, and the dog just sort of starts to run at you, and the monkey kind of falls off in the ground and gets trampled a little bit.
Oh! Oh, poor monkey! I'm sorry, monkey. Okay, so I'm gonna crouch down.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna crouch down and pet the dog, and then be like, basically see if I could find the goblin and figure out why the fuck he has my dog.
Yeah, so you sort of pet your dog and turn to the goblin. The goblin's looking at you, in a kind of a strange way, sees how the dog recognizes you, sees you, knows how it found it, and sort of just sees you growling at it, right? What exactly do you say to the goblin? You can see the goblin's almost like pretty trepidatious about even moving.
So I'm gonna play it off nice at first and say, "Oh, I see that you found my dog for me. This is very nice of you."
Give me an intimidation check. Soft intimidation.
Soft intimidation. 15.
15?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. The goblin sort of looks at you, puts its foot in the ground sternly, and seems to muster up a little bit of courage and goes, "I found that dog fair and square. Salvage rights. What kind of owner leaves it stranded in the jungle?"
A kind of owner who crashed here. And we could do this the nice way, where you walk away and still have your limbs intact, or we could do it and I just kind of pull my axe out and it's like the more difficult way.
I just kind of saunter up behind Brynn, smoking my pipe. So, what's going on?
So, go.
The lovely greenskin over here found my dog.
Easy. Okay. Oh, well, good. We've been looking for the hell puppies. Listen.
Yes,
I resent that remark.
Yeah.
You're about to resemble another remark.
So listen, my ship got shot down over the jungle, and we have actually been looking for pieces of it, and we've been looking for the rest of her hell puppies. There should be one more somewhere, and we are so thankful that it's been found. Now, is there any way we can repay you for finding her dog?
Stealing.
Perhaps we can compensate you for finding the dog.
That could take his arms.
At the I could take its arms comment, and the between your teeth growling. Give me so with that roleplay, Kronos, I'm going to allow you to not use a Bardic Inspiration charge, but give Bardic Inspiration to Brynn. And Brynn, with the axe and pulling out the axe and being more aggressive, you have advantage on your intimidation check.
Okay.
So you can roll again and then add a Bardic Inspiration if you need it. If you feel you need it.
So if I have advantage, I can roll again, right? Because that was abysmal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! How?
What was it? 12. 12 total? Roll the D8.
Oh, this is so not good. Oh, with an 8. Okay. So it's a dirty 20 now.
And Sai, I'll get to that message in a sec. I'll send you one. So you said dirty 20. 6 plus 4 is only 10. So the goblin sort of looks at you and hears like, maybe we could trade, or and at the inkling of the words that you used about giving it something in return for something compensation for finding this dog, it sort of looks up at you and goes, "Fine, no argument here. How much is the dog worth to you then?"
Well, it means a lot to us. How about I give you 50 gold pieces for finding it for us? Would that work for you?
And without hesitation, just starts nodding its head eagerly. You can see it wants to get out of this confrontation, but there was some point where its ego got the better of it, and it realized it was Bart because it beat your first intimidation. So it basically was like, "Huh, that's not as oh shit." It kept digging
It was like, I ain't scared of fuck. That's a big axe.
By the way,
Right, so
if
yeah.
you turned on the fire on the axe, I think you get a little bit more intimidation out of it, just saying.
Probably. I'm not trying to show everyone it is on fire. I'm not trying to play all my cards right now. I had one more up it.
So I hand him 25 gold pieces, and I hold the other 25 up and I say, "Now, can you tell us where you found this dog and give me coordinates. And whether or not you found any other interesting wreckage around that area.
Or dogs.
Or dogs, sure.
There's no other dogs. There wasn't any interesting wreckage. I mean, there was pieces of metal falling out of the sky, but there were more shards. And I think it was more from the big guys up in the sky. But yeah, I could go through my pad, maybe figure out where I was, get a location, and send you that. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. And he sort of like holds out his hand, and you can see he's like frantically like kind of scrolling through stuff with his other hand on the pad. And he's like not looking at the hand he's just holding out for the gold. It's just like a natural goblin instinct of just like reaching for the gold as he's going through the data pad.
Your goblin are Ferengi, aren't they?
Yes.
Rule of acquisition 1. Once you have their money, never give it back.
Those are some of the best things ever. I watched that whole video that you linked. Yeah, it's so good. Let's see. And so yeah, and I sent you a message about the question you asked me just in your DMs. And as you guys are over there and you're sort of regrouping with the party as that's happening, you sort of see the tail end of that, and you see Kronos giving the gold to the goblin as the goblin's giving Kronos a sort of ping somewhere in the jungle. It's actually not too far off from where you guys had been walking around. It's just an area that you guys was out of your line of walking. And so there's definitely a spot you could go investigate if you want to get any information about the dogs.
All right.
And
mark it down. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you
again for finding
you cast.
Alter self before I come out of that alley.
Okay.
And so as Kronos and I turn to walk away, I'm like, should have just let me cut him a little.
I don't think it's a good idea to start cutting open the goblin circus performers since we just got here and we're trying to maintain a low profile.
Hold on. Yeah. As you hear that, it only hears cut him a little, and it just starts throwing, like it throws the gold on the top of the tent and it sort of breaks it down. And it sort of scoops up real quick, ties up the tent around some sticks, and like starts to go. And the monkey just like runs and hops on its back and starts pulling a rope that's tied to the ring that was holding it up, that attached it to the tent so no one could take it. And it's just like pulling it in towards them and sort of like starts to hold it as they like run off.
I just whistle for my dog. I'm like, come on, boy, let's go.
Yep, and he pads next to you. And you know the other one that you still do have, it's just similar to how Kronos has his cat companion in a sort of pen. You have a pen for your hellhound, so you can put this one with the other one and they'd be together. And you don't have to have them in combat and shit.
Yeah, I definitely will, but I want to make sure. So I also like lean over to Kronos and say, well, thanks, and I'll pay you back.
Don't mention it. It sucks to lose your animals. So.
And to watch them perform by jumping through fireworks. He's a hellhound.
What? Yeah.
It's the equivalent of having a fucking, like, amazing, majestic beast jump over a candle. It's upsetting, okay?
Yes,
he's better than
beneath,
that.
Yes, it's beneath him, but, you know.
He's a good boy.
He didn't seem to be hurt.
No, just maybe his
fun,
pride.
Right?
He was being ridded by a monkey, Kronos.
Ridded?
Ridded. He was ridded by a monkey.
Yes. Yes. I pat her on her giant arm. Yeah, I understand. Well, the point is, we've got him back now. So, is that you?
I'm now a wild elf.
What's with the getup?
That's
Well,
very
that's
subtle,
probably a
guys.
good
I'm sure glad that you're having this open discussion.
Hey, Diz, why are you so incognito?
Why do you look like that, you weirdo? Put on your normal face.
How is PvP allowed this season?
No.
Oh,
Fine.
no. Not
Woodrow,
unless
was
I get
he-
control of your character?
Was he running that stall or was he browsing that stall?
He was browsing it. Yeah, he was not running
Okay.
it. You're like, I'm gonna go take all his shit.
No, if it was his stall, I was going to investigate what the ring was that he was looking at.
Oh, okay. So as you sort of go back to your party in a different disguise, and everyone sort of reacts to you there.
Disguise.
The goblin runs off, and the tiger that you had seen before, the tabaxi that you had seen before, seems to be watching you guys, and is seemed to have been watching you guys. Sort of gets up, kind of walks over, and as he gets close, you can see his eyes are sort of gleaming, and he's got this little smile on his face. He's just like, "So this is truly fortuitous. Fortune smiles upon this meeting. I am Kutal, and I have wares if you have coin." And he sort of kind of moves his silks to the side, his little silk cloak, and he's like, "Please follow me to my stall if you're interested. Most of my things are mundane, but I have one piece I think adventurers like yourself might be interested in."
I was expecting him to push aside his cloak and have Rolexes on the inside.
There's just a bunch of potion bottles.
What you buying?
I got some good shit. Yeah, why not? I mean, we're here to browse.
Yeah.
So you go over, and like you said, or like they said, there's mostly just little trinkets, like bone trinkets and stuff like that. Things that are sort of resemble Kronos's. I kept wanting to say Cabal for some reason. Kronos's Dreamcatcher thing, and then you also notice Kronos. There's a piece to your ship here. It's a sort of
What?
It's what you had been using as the stick shift. Didn't you have a sword with an 8-ball, or maybe it wasn't the sword? Maybe it was just something like an 8-ball as a stick shift. Yeah, you see your stick shift is on the table, a bunch with the other bunch of trinkets. But then he goes underneath the table and pulls out this box. And when he opens it, you can see that it's just all black in there. It's similar to like a bag of holding. And his fingers go in, and they get enveloped by the darkness. And he pulls out a ring. And this ring, it looks magical. It's made of like a white gold. And it's got these sort of blue arcane circuitry lights sort of pulsing around it. And he's like, this, or no, it looks like white gold, but it's mithril. That's what it is. He goes, "This is the ring of the wise. It can make you wiser than any sage. It is expensive, but very powerful."
May I examine it?
Yes, and he hands it to you.
I cast Identify.
So it is a ring that the ring of the wise, and it will bolster the wisdom score of a character. And like mechanically, basically, it makes your wisdom 22.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
That's all it does, but that's what it does.
That's a
many
fucking lot.
Yeah.
That's probably enough.
How much?
How much for this gold? Well, I was originally asking for 1,000 gold, but no one seemed to have the coin, so I have cut my price in half. I am offering it for 500. That is where it starts. And he sort of puts both his hands out and bows to you to start the negotiation process, if you're interested.
I.e. barter. Barter.
What is that? Is that deception?
You can use deception. You
Or
can use persuasion. Yeah, persuasion, deception, or intimidation.
My intimidation is 4 higher than my persuasion, so...
You can do it, but intimidation has different outcomes, right?
Nuances,
Yeah.
You run the
So if
risk
you
of
want-
pissing him off and...
Exactly,
and
yeah.
to you. 500. That's... I mean, the ring is impressive, don't get me wrong, but it's not 500 gold impressive. I mean, it's more 200 gold impressive.
I just walk out away from it because I can't hold back trying to laugh, so I just walk away. I'm like, this isn't for me.
He smiles at you and goes, "But of course, very brave, but I fear I can only go down to 450." puts his hands together and brings them in close to his chest and is looking at you and sort of giving you like a charisma, sort of cat eyes almost, look like looking up at you through big eyes with his hands together at his chest.
Oh my gosh, he's Puss in Bootsing you.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my roll was, by the way, or did I tell you already?
No, you can tell me.
It was 12 plus 9, so 21.
21. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. 19 on the dice.
Are we doing rounds of this, by the way?
Yeah. You can work them. You can. It's a skill challenge. So the first one, he was willing to give you a little to try and get you in to buy it. He's like, yeah, I kind of really want some gold, so I'll drop it a little bit, but not as much as you wanted, because he did beat you, and he does want you to buy it.
I mean, word of inspiration.
What?
I agree. The ring is nice. I mean, but have you looked? I mean, there's scratches on it. I mean,
I knew that was coming.
I mean, it's hardly new.
It's hardly new.
Ooh, nice. Go ahead and give me another check. Your second check.
Oh, 16 plus 9, 16, 9, 25.
25. Okay, so 9 on the die. So that's a beat him by over 10. Okay, so he sort of looks at you and grins, and he goes like, I can see I have met my match. 350, final offer.
Oh, this is so great.
Woodrow,
Yeah.
I'm switching tactics.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Casually,
Ah! Sorry.
I pull out the still bloody Shadow Karambit and just start twirling it over my finger, since it has a finger loop. I'm like, 350? I'm feeling that 320 would be much, much more fair. I mean, who knows when someone will happen along that has enough money to even talk to you about this ring again.
Give me an intimidation check.
19 plus 13.
So, he looks at you, and he goes, like, as you're like spinning the blade on the table, he sort of is moving his hands like he normally would as in his gestures, but then sort of steps in close and sort of rakes one of his fingers quickly across the blade as it's spinning, and it's a pretty agile feat that he does right in front of you, and goes, "It is a deal," and strikes some blood from his finger that hits the table, and he sets the ring down. 320 it is.
By the way, Luke,
Yes.
before you walk back, or are you still here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're in the shop. Yeah.
I took 50 gold off my character sheet to pay you back for Brynn's puppy.
Oh. Okay.
Aw, thanks.
I stick out my
Thank you.
hand. You have yourself a deal.
And he shakes your hand, hands you the ring, as long as gold comes his way.
I took 320 off my character sheet.
Okay, cool. So you don't have that ring, and it is an attunement. I'm going to double check right now to make sure it's an attunement ring. I believe it is. I'm going to change that if it's not real quick, but it should be already made. Ring of the Wise. Boom, boom. Oh, not made. I know I made it. Requires attunement. Yeah, so it's good to go. So you can look up Ring of the Wise and add it to your character sheet, and it should pop up.
So I walk outside to find Brynn. Where are you at, babe?
I just walked outside. I didn't like, go anywhere. I just walked outside and was like, "Oh, it's so funny watching you intimidate people who don't know you."
I pull out your hand and place the ring on your finger.
Oh, that's super sweet. And now I'm less dumb.
Seriously, I looked at both of our wisdom stats. I do want you to have it for the effect, but I also wanted to get you something nice.
Aw, that's sweet. So that raises your wisdom to what?
22.
Good fuck.
It gives you a +6.
Good fucking shit fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much. Okay, how do I plus that? Do I have to
Inventory?
manage?
Yeah, manage items in inventory, and then when it goes to add items, just type in Ring of the Wise, and it should pop right up.
Inventory, manage inventory.
So that, you can mark that off.
I bet you didn't think I was going to give it to Brynn, did you?
I didn't.
I mean, wisdom's nice to
I've-
have and all, but it's much more of a help to you.
Yeah.
You could use it for the saves.
Yeah! Holy fuck, could I? Yeah.
You're our tank. I mean, I need you to save.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab my shifter off of the table. Do I see anything else? What else do I see on the shelves there? Because as I travel through the multiverse, I like to grab different knickknacks, and every time I have to rebuild my ship, I add someplace where it got fucked up. So, what am I adding to my ship? Is there anything that catches my eye? Or
So
what's on the shelves?
there's all kinds of gemstones. You got like tiger eyes, garnets, and then there's nothing that's like super valuable. You don't see like blue diamonds or anything like that.
Right.
But you do see a little bottle off to the side, and it looks like it has nothing in it, and with like a little cork in it, and something about it catches your eye. There's just something about it. It's kind of weird and off to the side, but so you've got like little gems. There's the shifter, the little bone pieces. They're all kinds of little bone totems. Some of them look like a little dream catcher type thing, like I said, similar to yours in a way. But then there's
Right.
other ones that are just like totem poles of different little animal skulls. Then there's also what are they called? Like a gourd, right? A gourd that's been hollowed out, and then there's a petal of one of those flowers that's been hung in there, so it's like a lantern. It's one of those luminous flowers like that Zarya has in her grove.
Okay.
And then little knickknacks like that. There's also a set of dice that seem to be made from stone. And then that's basically
All
what you
right.
see.
Okay. I'm going to grab the. You said there was a jar that looked empty, but it caught my eye.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick that up, and I guess use my. I'm gonna look at them. I'm gonna look at it with the goggles, Gizmo's visor. And throw
Then
those on.
you'd be at investigation with advantage, and then. Ooh, also. After you give me the investigation, depending, we might make an Arcana check.
All right. Investigation. Let's see. So you said with advantage. So 13 plus 5, that would be 18 for the first roll.
Shae.
And then 6 plus 5 for the second roll. So we'll take the first one. 13 plus 5, 18.
18.
Yeah, 18.
So, as you sort of zoom in, you're getting my mind. No, you're sort of as the little visors are sort of clicking in. You can actually see that there's an element in there of air of some kind. Some kind of air element has been trapped in this bottle. Give me an Arcana check.
All right. 15 plus 3, 18 again.
So, in your travels, one of the things people used to use as a power source before, like electricity and stuff like that, when they're not before, but in some of the more arcane-based areas, they use elemental hearts of an elemental to power certain things. They usually trap them in a gem, but it seems like this must was either put in this jar with a spell, or the jar itself is some sort of magical maybe containment of some kind. But this is basically the heart of an air elemental. And in some of your travels, you've known that these have been used to create airships, or like the foundation to start creating the engines of airships.
Ooh.
It has other uses, but that's just one of the main ones.
All right. How much for this?
Oh, the elemental heart? That is also a bit pricey. That one would start at 300 gold.
Okay. And how much for the shifter here?
You see a smile, and he looks at you. He goes, "For my prized possession, and you can see that he knows when you saw it. He probably has a very high passive insight as well, and I can't part with that for anything under 200 gold.
You hear from outside the tent, bullshit!
Uh-huh.
He just sort of puts both his hands on the table and leans over.
Right. So how
Punch him and
about-
take it.
Pick up the bag of dice, and how much for the dice here?
With the other two, I'd throw them in for free.
Okay.
Is he Hispanic now?
No.
He
Hey, man.
switches. Hey, man.
Yeah. It's just amorphous accent.
I look on
Amorphous, kind of Middle Eastern, little Spanish. Don't question it.
Like kind of African.
the sign on
Kind
the,
of African.
the sign on the store turns to El Gato's trading post.
Oh my gosh, what if it's really just all an illusion and he's trying to find whatever accent is going to be the most like off-putting for the person, like disorienting or whatever, and so you
Some
don't
sort of mind player.
yeah, so like you can't do as well, and so his signs just rotate through until he finds
I've
one
got
that
it.
works.
His shirt pops open. It's full of wiry hair and gold necklaces. And
And now he's Persian?
Yep.
Yep. That's how that goes. Hello, friends. My friend, I cannot let this go for any less. My family! What of my family? They must eat!
They have not eaten in days.
I've got 5 kids to feed.
I got 5 kids to feed.
Oh, wait. No.
I ain't giving you no tree fitty, you goddamn Loch Ness monster! Get your own goddamn money!
You missed it.
What did I miss?
No, just say it's a little late. A little
I
late on
made
the
it.
tree
No.
It's never too late. But yeah. So
Right.
with he says with the dice, he'll throw them in for free.
Okay, so that would be 500 altogether, 500 gold.
He's just
Yes.
trying to...
All right. How about 400?
oh, wow. You're very nice.
And I'll do a persuasion.
Yes.
I mean, it says the girl that
16
has
plus
no money.
7.
16 plus 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you rolled higher than him on the die, and you've got the same plus as him, so you beat him. And so he looks at you for the 400, kind of cocks his head to the side and goes, he smiles, goes, I would take that deal. And just kind of puts his hands out and expecting the money. You kind of are already holding the items.
I appreciate
You just
it.
have them all in your arms and you're like, I'm taking these for 4. Just moves away.
And I give him the 400. Thank you. By the way, could I ask you where you found this particular item? Do you have a location you could give me?
Oh,
I hold up
I
the shifter.
I in fact stole it from your little green friend. I like the way it
The
looks.
fucking goblin's gonna die.
Thank you. It's part of my ship. We got shot down, and yeah, been looking for pieces. So I'm glad you have it. Thank you.
You see him look at Dis, and then kind of look back at you and goes, something told me that you were not from around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get a lot of looks with this face, believe it or not.
Nah.
Tap on the old skull.
The best part is he seemed fine with your face. It was Dis that freaked him out. Like he's like, I don't know about that Dis character. You're fine, half skeleton man, no problem.
Wait, what do you look like? Oh my god.
Did you forget?
Yes.
This? Yeah.
Yeah, he looks terrifying. That's why Tan was looking at him. He was like, "What the fuck are you?"
Exactly. So I'm used to getting stared at when I walk into places and people being uneasy. But so I noticed I look back at Des and what makes you say that?
Oh, I have a feeling you already know.
Hmm.
And you can see like a gleam in his eye, like you've seen before. And yeah.
Let's see. Can I roll a perception check on his like mannerisms? Like,
So that would be insight if you're trying to read his body language. But if you're trying to figure out other things, it'd be like Arcana. If you want to know if he's using like manipulating any magic or stuff like that.
Well, my insight is significantly higher than my Arcana, so I want to read his body language, see if he's hostile or if there's any betrayal in his body language.
Okay.
So 17 plus 10, 27.
27.
Yeah.
So you don't get any hostility or you don't sense any more deception that there would normally be to a sort of barker trader type. And he's obviously got his own cunning to him, and he's used to whittling people out of money, but you get the sense that he either saw this before they walked away and came back and how you reacted and he just has good insight, or there's another he can see through the disguise, basically. Mm-hmm. Those are the two options you read from the body language. He knows for sure, but he doesn't seem to be with that. Also, he doesn't seem to care. It doesn't like a lot of people aren't tied up in like the mystery of what happened to the drow. It's just like some people have have interpreted differently. Some people think they could they see a drow, they can make money. Some people see a drow and they go like, oh, but they're not all dead. And then some people just go like, oh, I guess they're coming back. And there's all these different reactions. So
gotcha.
With him, he just doesn't seem to care at all.
Excellent. Okay, that's basically what I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So perhaps I do. Thank you for the wares, and thank you for the information.
Thank you for the patronage. Just bows as you leave, and he starts packing up his stuff. You get the sense that the way he was sitting and watching you all, he was already getting ready to go and saw that like last sail. But he's packing up his stuff into the Starfighter and starts to pull his tarp down as you guys are meeting up and sort of discussing.
All right, and 400 is what I did. Okay. Taking 400 off of my sheet.
Off of the 5,000 you made last season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I basically sold the entire liquor store, so.
By the way, I wish just one time that I told Nick I was robbing you, he would have taken me seriously.
He's like, oh, you're not robbing him. He's like, I really was trying to, actually. Just super trying to rob him blind.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for allowing my subtlety to have a payoff. I appreciate that.
By the way, I'm robbing him. No, you're not. Oh, are you sure? It really felt like I was.
Well, I mean, I appreciate not being robbed.
I mean, it's way too much money for one person anyway.
It allows me to buy supplies to brew health potions to keep you people alive, so I don't have to rely on the staff of healing all the time.
Ship repairs.
You
repairs. People. Yeah.
I've got a ship of my own to repair now.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Well, this is very true.
You're both pretty.
I'm going. Is this the only interesting stalls or anything in this area?
So those are just like little people who set up little taverns or little trade stops with little trinkets and stuff like that. Though, if you go into any of these silver stuff, it's sort of the similar stuff. You'll find fruits, vegetables. There's a lot of fish here on top of that. And those sections where you're walking around right now is mainly the dried goods. You think this is a section where people come to stock their ship up for long travels and stuff like that. And that was the only little section in there that had like trinkets and stuff. As you kind of go to those back ones and into the bazaar, it's just all kinds of chaos, and there's not a lot of people out right now in terms of like it's not packed, but just all of the stalls and stuff. There's almost no order to it. People just kind of come up and set up in this big circle area and leave whenever they want. And there's not a whole lot of people still out and supplying right now. Is there anything specific off the top of your head that you guys want or are looking for?
I
want to ask two things. Is there a specific thing that I'm adding for my inventory for the Heart of the Elemental?
I'll make something for you for that.
Okay.
I gotta make an item.
All right, I'll make a generic item and put it in my on my sheet.
Placeholder.
Okay, yeah. And then the
literally name it placeholder.
Well, no, I'm gonna name it Elemental, Heart of the Elemental, but and then the dice. Is there anything specific for those?
No, that's just basically a set of polyhedral dice.
Cool.
It's just a set of D&D dice.
All right, cool. Yeah, awesome.
In the shops, there's nothing that pops out as magical. You get the sense that this is actually relatively a relatively mundane stop. There's some supplies. Yeah, there's in this would be like there's a little bit of clothing stuff here that matches like all kinds of terrains, any kind of sort of make model you'd want. And as you guys are sort of moving through the closed section on this back road here by the river, you can see on the road there's not a lot of people out left. You're actually in a spot where there's kind of almost no one walking the roads. There's just a couple people packing up their clothes shops here. When down the road, you can see like a panicked gnome sort of running down, and he stops and he looks in the stall and sort of frantically looks around, runs down, and sort of like stops and kind of goes into the next one and starts like looking around. And then you can hear him saying like, "You haven't seen like a oversized hamster? No, you haven't even seen like a big hamster? No? Okay. What about it's tentacles? No? Okay. And he kind of comes out and starts running towards you guys. And you can see that on his head, he's sort of got... So he's a gnome, so he's pretty small. And on his head is resting a large hamster, the size of like a cat, just sort of resting and chewing on some food. And you see one of its cheeks is sort of full up with the food. And he's sort of running and stops and looks. And he sees you guys and kind of stops and goes like, "Oh, you have not seen like a large hamster or not seen an invisible smaller hamster or like another one with tentacles or one that farts fire? You haven't seen that?
Sadly, no.
No.
I wish I could say I had.
Okay. No. Well, there's a... Yeah?
Didn't you say the hamster was sitting on his head?
Oh, no. This is Pygmy. This is a different hamster. I'm looking for Fang. He's the big hamster, and then he gets even bigger, and then I'm looking for Beetle, and then I'm looking for Ghost and Whisper. They're my other hamsters. I work down at the labs. This is my lab down there, the ship on the hill. I bought that ship, and
you're making rodents of unusual size.
Well, technically they already grow that size, so how much time do you have? He just sort of looks at you. Like you inquired about his business, so there's like a sense of him. And you've seen this look before. Bach almost had a look like this, except this one seems a little more unhinged. And he's just looking at you like, how much time do you have? I might be able to explain it.
I'm good.
Overview.
I'm
Cliff.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. We have not seen your coterie.
Well, if you happen to notice any of them, if you take them to my lab, I'll pay you for them.
How much?
Here,
should I go by weight? Should I go
by weight?
How difficult they are to find? Because the invisible one is smaller. So how do I? Okay, I'll
tell you what.
I'll do 150 each.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out.
Alive. I like these creatures. These are my pets. These aren't just lab experiments, even though that's what some people say, and they're not. I treat them well. They're not experiments. I mean, they are technically experiments, but yeah, that's what
we understand.
Yeah. Go ahead and Kronos, since you've been all around like the galaxy and universes, give me a history check.
All right. 17 plus 3, so 20. Dirty 20.
320. So space hamsters are actually a thing, and they're used by different corporations in different multiverses. They're kind of rare, but in the universes where they are, they're not rare. But just in the the grand scheme of the multiverse, they're rare.
Right.
And where in the universes where they are abundant, they are used similar to other small animals in genetic testing, like rabbits and stuff. But the thing about the space hamster is they take to genetics very well. They're very resilient in their genes, and they can adapt it in similar to elves, kind of change with their environments and the genes that's presented to them. So they're used to harvest and test that sort of gene splicing. And you know that all kinds of companies make lots of money off gene splicing in other universes. So it's probably some sort of business here, some sort of market for it. And the gnome just sort of puts his.
He's kind of unhinged a little bit. Is it an unhinged that he's worried about the animals themselves, or is his ass on the line and that's why he's worried about them?
With a 20 insight, I'll say what you can glean off just your passive is he is definitely out of breath and has probably been running around the whole city or town, and when he's the unhinged is definitely been triggered by the loss of the animals, and you don't think that there's any line he's on the line for anything. It almost seems these are pets to him at this point, so whatever testing may have been done, that he may have already done whatever in terms of being on the line, that may already be handled. He's just now wants his pets back.
He's just looking for his hamsters. Got it.
He sort of looks up and he notices Brynn finally at the back with the dog, the hell puppy, and he kind of goes like, "What is that?"
That is a not for you, is what that is.
No, I would never take another person's animal. I've never seen a fire dog. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I'd pet it, but I'd burn my hand, I think. Maybe?
Possibly. He might also bite. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna just walk past, and he sort of like walks. It gets kind of like a wide berth and gets even wider around Brynn and the dog, and sort of has his hands out and kind of continues going, and goes to the next stall and looks, and then you guys basically see that happen, and you're like, okay, interesting. But yeah, apparently there's a bounty on some giant hamsters that are loose in the city doing stuff.
Is this didn't Don Chin write a comic that had to do with like radioactive hamsters or some shit?
Radioactive black belt hamsters. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Oh my god.
Not quite, but
continue on.
So over here it's basically people selling similar to the other side. This is more like the trinkets, like in those little spots, and there's weapons when you get to on that very low street. This is like the weapons, and in the big spots right in front of the starport are like ship weapons, ship upgrades, all the big sort of industry things that they have in this area, which don't seem to be like illegally carried stuff. There's no like illicit things, but it's all for like repairing basic weapons, and basic restoring of chemicals and stuff like that you would need, stuff like that. And then that's like sort of the electronics row. There's all kinds of weapons that you could buy in terms of handheld weapons, not just starport stuff. And then on the other side of that street where those long buildings are, the long huts are basically gambling dens. And then that red circle that you passed was a really loud, rambunctious tavern. And a couple spots that you passed up there, like seemed like they at one point had drinks, but they're not the open 24. They're more just serving the tourists type areas. That seems to be like almost a genuine little hot spot where people go to drink who live here at the end of the day. That Chance's Alley, so they can get rowdy there. Sort of like the Ren Fair at the end of the night.
Nice.
And then so that's where all like the scummy people kind of are. You don't really. There's a lot of wild elves in the area, a good amount of high elves in terms of the ratio, and there's actually some orcs in this section with a couple bugbears, which are just in this basically long-armed hairy orcs in that area, and they seem to be playing different games, and they seem to have like games out, and Some of them are rolling dice similar to what you and Renaj are doing, but they seem to be playing a different game. Then there's another one where they are rolling 3d6, and then another one where they're playing cards, and it looks kind of like a King's Gambit or King's Cards. I mean, sorry, not King's Gambit. That's what this is called, Fool's Gambit. Like King's Cards from where you're from.
I'm gonna duck into one of these stalls, find a dark corner, and refresh my alter self,
Okay.
and come out as human.
Give me a stealth check for the ducking and the switching to try and hide that. You should be good. I don't think anyone's going to notice you.
12 plus whatever. Let's see. 12 plus 13, so 25.
Yeah, so 25. Okay. So yeah, you turn back. You come back as a human.
Looking like I did in season 1 before I died.
Okay, nice. So Brynn, how would you react to noticing the visage of this old character that they were in between time, I guess, from going the original game in between where you are now?
Oh, and my
Okay,
like
so
season, all of it.
So Dish just comes walking out, and I stare without saying anything for a really long time. I just go, I just can't handle this, and I just like walk off with my dog. I'm like,
you can't handle this?
Can't handle this. I'm gonna go sit over there.
By the way, guys, there was a patron wandering around earlier when we first got here who ratted out the fact that a dark elf was here. So that's why I'm switching.
So you waited until now to tell us this?
It wasn't really germane up until now. We're doing fine.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't germane.
We might want to leave before morning.
Right. Great. Okay. Well then, let's. I'm gonna duck into one of these munitions places, and I'm gonna see what I can find out about cartridges like this, and if they stock any like it, and what they have in it, and what they have to fill the cartridges that I have.
All right. The one that you happen to duck into real quick as you're looking for the things that have closest to what you have in terms of energy cartridges. You go into one and you see a high elf woman sort of standing there. She sees you come in, cocks an eye at you, looks you up and down. She sees, actually, it's not necessarily the visage, although she does take that in for a moment and it sort of hits her, but it's more of the tech that you have on that she's sort of eyeing and looking at. And when you walk in, and before I forget, Dis, go ahead and give me a perception check, and we'll get to that when we come back, but I just didn't want to forget. And so, yeah, you come in and she goes, welcome to my stall. I'm Osnia, and this is what I have procured over my adventures.
Did you say perception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosnia, did you say?
Osnia.
Osnia. Hello, Osnia. I am looking for cartridges similar to this one. I've got a friend with a weapon, and I'm looking for a compatible cartridge. And ways to fill these empty ones.
Huh.
Supplies to fill cartridges, or?
Huh. Not this specific make. Do you mind if I scan this and maybe see what it's to? It might help. And she's talking about just like the base cartridge, not catalyst or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So she kind of puts it down on this pad. It sort of scans it real quick, and it says make model unknown, and it says like 90% sure we could remake right now, and then there's like a little bar loading up and the percentage is going up. It's basically she's scanning to see if she can recreate it, and as you're sitting there it goes 100%. She goes like, so good news and bad news. I could recreate this cartridge and maybe help you figure out how to get it to fire, and mass produce you more of these if you need them. This is it's simple enough.
Yeah.
I might be able to, or what I can't do though is tell you the make and model of the gun it goes to. You said your friend has this weapon. Is there any way I could look at it?
I do not believe she carried it with her when we came to the city today. Yeah, unfortunately.
Judging by the cartridge, it's substantial.
Yes.
Substantial.
Yeah, it's a fairly large gun, and would draw unwanted attention while just waltzing around the city. Not necessarily the best idea. I mean, the face does it enough.
Can I, out of character, ask you a stupid question, Luke?
Yeah.
Since your system recreated the gun, wouldn't you have like a schematic or something of it on your bracer?
I don't know.
Or
that
a
was
picture, or
The ship didn't recreate it. It was stored in the ship. Gizmo
Yeah.
created it. So Gizmo would have the schematic.
yeah. So see, I'm working off of like fractured notes that that I was able to salvage from the wreckage.
Yep,
So
and
I don't.
what about all the sexy poses that I took of Brynn that
Oh my
she was
gosh.
so
Destroyed.
good at?
Gone.
Delete. delete.
They're gone. All the extemporaneous stuff is gone.
No, I'm saying since then. The ones I've taken since then.
No.
I
Negative.
didn't
Of her
realize
posing with her
what-
big guns.
Okay,
Never.
so right.
I
Yeah,
imagine you're
so-
talking to Osnia and there's just messages coming up and you're like trying to ignore them.
I mute the internal
feed.
link. I'm sorry. It's been a day. Yes, could you please could you make me like maybe 10 of these cartridges? And what would it cost me?
Just for the cartridges?
Just for the cartridges.
Let's see, about 2 silver per 10 cards, so 2 gold. Get you 10
Alright.
cartridges.
Done.
As she does that, she sort of looks at you and starts the process, and you can see a couple machines that are printing in the back. There's 2 machines kind of printing 2 cartridges at a time, and she's should be done in a moment. I am curious. Is there any information that you could share with me about this weapon, this large gun that was so big she couldn't carry it into town? You have piqued my curiosity, I must say. And as you look, you can see that she's got
As an arms dealer, I'm sure.
she's got pieces from everywhere, and you can see she's more of a collector for art pieces, but also understands the value of them. So she's more of like an art dealer, arms dealer, than like your lower class sort of. I got a gun, you can buy it.
Right. So she's into it. It's her thing. Got
Yeah,
it.
she's like a gun nerd.
Okay. It's a big fucking gun, and when used properly, it has a tendency to melt things. So, yeah, I don't know. It was made by somebody that understands these things a lot more than I do, but I'm learning.
Well, here, she sends you her contact information. So basically, in your data pad, you have a contact under Osnia, and she's basically an ammo.
You got digits.
She's an ammo maker.
Ammo maker.
Yeah, that's what she actually specializes in is ammunition.
Fuck yeah.
My stutter's coming back.
Fuck.
That means once that I'm thinking in character. Once I get the stuff, I can actually have her help me make the ammunition if I can't do it myself.
It's possible.
Fuck yeah.
It would just cost
okay,
you
cool.
gold at that point.
Right. I mean, of course.
Ugh.
But I mean,
We need to find this ammo.
if I make shit that blows up in my face, well, might as well pay a professional to do it. So, awesome.
And
Thank you.
yeah, no worries. And these are done. She sort of kind of puts them in a bag and kind of hands them to you.
Here's your ammunition. It's
Little-
tied with a
little-
little bow.
Yeah, a little paper put in there to make it look nice. Yeah, you got- so you have-
2 gold.
You have 10 cartridges, and did you have any more beyond that, or are these the only 10 you have at the moment?
I think she had handed me like 2 spent cartridges.
Okay.
And I think I was working on one, and I had like a hollow one that I was carrying around.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
let me
so-
put it this way: in an ideal world, how many of these could we possibly fill with the shit that we're looking for?
So that would be a maximum of 12 if I have 10 new ones.
Right. I'm saying, I mean, I have some gold left. Would it behoove us to buy 50 of these things, stuff them in the bag of holding, and see how many we can make once we find the chemicals?
Well, I mean, I want to be able to... I mean, if it's come down to that, I can always have her make more. I want to be able to actually make the ammunition first. Like, I don't know in what quantity I can make this stuff because there's some interesting ingredients and one that I still don't actually know. It's obviously back. I've unmuted the neural link and talking. And by the way, YouTube make it absolutely impossible to conduct business without looking like an absolute Looney Tune.
That's our charm.
If you want to pay her to have like a stock of 50 or something like that, or just like 100, so you have stuff to work with and have a stock. And like I said, on Volsung's ship, for just the cartridges, he can make them on his ship too using the printer. He has the schematics there too. It's just a matter of getting the resources basically to fill like the printer or whatever up with the resources, which I think you have a little bit left over. So yeah, because I said I think you can make some one of the sessions. I think you had enough to make like 20 cartridges in there if that's all you made. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask her a stupid question and actually prepare for us succeeding at our task of finding the stuff for her ammo. Do you sell anything that we might be able to perhaps store the chemical reactants for ammunition safely? Empty barrel, some kind.
What kind of ammunition?
Is this an intelligence check to see if I remember like the what was it there was a propellant, there was a
catalyst, and basically an igniter, ignition, and then the cartridge. So there was 3 main parts: casing,
which we now have.
Catalyst.
Through the Neuralink I sent to Des. I'm still researching the stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying not to draw too much attention. This cartridge is already unknown, so it's already drawing questions. She wanted to see the weapon, and I told her that we didn't have it. So.
Right. But couldn't we just ask for some generic thing that could say hold a strong acid, and that would prevent it from?
Yes.
Look, I don't know if you have like 55-gallon drums on your ship, or in your bag of holding, or something like. I just don't want to show up with 3 glass vials and be like, "Okay, we found the shit. Let's fill up our 3 dinky little vials with it."
So you would like to get large glass jars, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No. Acid eats through glass.
It depends on what kind of acid. The jellos all dissolve different things.
Look, but, if Kronos has it covered, then I'm fine with that. I just didn't want to pass up this opportunity with someone who makes ammunition.
Oh, she's now a contact. Like we can contact her.
And since you let her scan the cartridge and gave her let her print them a little more while you're here and stuff and that sort, she goes, "This is And you did mention to her that you're still researching it, or was that what you were saying out of character? Okay.
No, I did mention that I was still researching it. Yeah.
Okay. So she goes, if you still are in your research, this is interesting. The catalyst, or not the catalyst. Sorry, the primers for this is set up in a way that it's elemental based. So there's off the top of my head, the heart of an elemental can work as a primer. Wow. And so can they haven't existed for a very, very long time, but it's said that if you can somehow capture the breath of a dragon, you can make primers. And you get the sense that with the amount of power that's in like the elemental heart you have, it's not going to be like one thing of ammo. Like you can sort of use it and eventually it'll be drained and gone, but you can sort of take fragments of it to make the primer, to make just that little spark of bang that ignites the catalyst. So you can, with that heart, you don't know how much you can get out of it, but you have a resource. It's not like you can make one bullet with it. That would
Right.
suck. Too.
Okay. So I could make a few.
Yeah. All right, we made Mud
Okay.
Bullet. Now we gotta go harvest more fucking elementals.
Yeah.
But gotta go kill another dragon.
Yeah. You don't have to kill it. You just have to harvest the breath.
Without it using the breath against us to kill us.
Well, no. Do you have a cargo bay? We just strap it down, and capture its breath.
Mm-hmm. Just make it breathe into a jar repeatedly until we
I
get.
poke it in the side.
Oh my gosh.
Tickle, little tickles.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't tickle.
Yeah, that went so well for my ship the last time we encountered a dragon.
That is true. I mean, should have
Yep.
captured it.
And Dis,
Hmm.
while you were going around, you heard with that 25 perception, you heard the bugbear and the orc at the table. They were gambling with the cards, talking about did you see that? Did you see that little gnome? Yeah, she was crazy. He had this little fat hamster on his head. And people were saying there's a big one in the Orchard Grove a little bit ago, tearing things up. Got into one of the ships or something, or pulled things out for the ships, or I don't know. But oh man, if I see it, I'm gonna kill it and mount its head on my wall. Tell you what, a large hamster, it's amazing. Imagine the stories you could tell. You get it, they're pretty drunk.
They seem rather drunk. So okay.
You can tell.
So if I'm assuming I'm around and hear this.
Yeah, if you're in the vicinity of Dis, so if you want to make a perception roll, as long as you don't roll too low, yeah, you can hear
Perception.
She's just trying to get in on my side quest.
it.
My
I hear nothing.
7.
Not a
I hear
damn
nothing.
thing.
I see nothing.
So Brynn, as you guys are walking down that
Oh my
alley, you
God.
see Kronos.
That was a 1.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
one.
Kronos
That was a
walks into the ammo maker, starts talking to Osnia, and you guys are sort of sitting there, and Dis is looking, arms crossed, kind of thinking to herself about just how difficult this ammo is to get, and why is it so difficult. When she hears the rumors, real quick, kind of turns around and looks, and for a moment you're in the middle, both of them, their backs are turned to you. You sort of look one way, look the other way. You kind of go I don't know what they're doing, and you turn around and you see at the Chance's alley, walking into it is a large, sort of Leonin looking figure, which Leonins in this, they're basically kind of like the Tabaxi, but they're lions and they're muscular and stout. He's sort of the size you are, but all rippling with muscle. It's all very large and almost overly toned. And he sort of steroids out and opens the door and walks in. He's like, "The party's here!" And you can see in the thing there's a circle pit in the middle, and you can see two drunken people sort of fighting. There's a human and an elf in there that are sort of dishing it out, and one of them kind of goes down and gives the other one a capoeira kick, and you see them sort of that kick execute, and the person go sort of flying over as the door shuts and Leonin walks in, and you get that's a very rowdy tavern. But that's what you see with your natural one. You don't hear the rumors, you see that going on.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
And I thank Osnia for the information. Thank you. I appreciate that. That will
No worries.
definitely
This is
help.
pretty interesting. The only type of stuff like this I've seen is in bigger artillery, so you've got my mind working. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's been a conundrum for me as well. If I make any kind of breakthroughs, I will I'll definitely let you know. And I appreciate the resource for the cartridge making.
Well, please, if you have anything to share and I make any breakthroughs, I'll share them with you as well.
I appreciate it. And I stow all my stuff in my bag of holding, and I thank her and I leave.
All right. She just sort of nods and lets you go on your way. And you come out and you see Brynn sort of looking back past, and as you kind of look to follow Brynn's eyes, all you see is the wild elf go down and give a capoeira kick to the human in the pit as the door sort of shuts in the Chance's alley, and you can hear a roar kind of come up from there as you guys start walking down the road.
Brynn, do you want to go fight for the monies?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, yes.
I has the 100 gold I can give you.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Why you want me to fight is so funny.
I'm putting the offer out there. That's
I'm
all.
good. I'm good.
Woodrow, I don't know if you saw this. I flashed it a few times.
For the high elf armor. Oh, tattoo supplies, books, etc. Okay, so that when you go, that would be in the actual shipyard bazaar. So you guys are sort of walking back across the ship and then into this side of the bazaar, and that you'll see like data pads and stuff. And there is a one of the you see a stall with two dwarves sort of bickering back at each other, and they sort of see you, and one of them is like, sensor decoys need to get around the universe and not have them know which ship is exactly heading their way. And then the other one goes like, you don't need those. You need my trader star charts. I have star charts of the Imperial policing lanes that will get you through different zones. Terrace, T'Thun-Mar, Tyr, Ryzen Prime, even the moons of Zaloon, or the distant planet of Zaloon. Much more efficient and cheaper than a sensor decoy. And less reliable, the other dwarf says to him, as you guys sort of kind of walk in on that side. And then you said tattoo supplies.
Yes.
Yeah, but
As you
really
guys are-
quickly, Mr. Star Charts, what about any sensor readings of I'm finding it.
The inner rim.
No,
Or
Piri. Yeah, Piri
Oh.
in a rim area.
Well, no one's really looked for that in a long time. It's been like, I think 80 years since anyone's even asked me about that planet before. Let me see what I got. And yeah, he starts like looking through his charts and stuff like that. And he goes, there's nothing that would be relevant here in terms of the Imperial policing lanes. He shows you an old star chart, but it's actually the one that you have from the temple. So that one that he pulls up, you're like, no, not that one. I've kind of already got that. And then he goes, oh, here we go. Here's a piece of data I got off of a satellite that is data is illegal. So if anyone sees you with it or asks about it, you don't have it, and it wasn't me who gave it to you.
Kronos gets a message.
sort of-
We need a satellite.
You actually have you guys have a system of satellites at your disposal you could use. Bach offered it to you.
Hell yeah.
And then,
when we get back there, we'll have to take him up on that.
He pulls up this chart and he goes, this is some of the trajectory of some of the pieces when it was bombarded. It seems that it was being scanned by a survey actually during the bombardment, and got some of the fragments before it was destroyed, transmitting what little data it had left in it before the destruction. So that's the only other thing I got with Piri. I mean,
How much for that in the patrol routes?
well, all of the patrol routes, and you'll get basically Terrace, Thun-Mar, Tyr, which is the moon of Thun-Mar, and that's the moon that there's that military base on that Samina wants to hit. You'll get Ryzen Prime and Zaloon, and that will run you 125 gold. It's 25 gold a piece. And he doesn't seem to be open to negotiation, but you can always try. He's sort of like, these are my prices. But yeah, you can always try.
I've
And
haggled
so-
enough for one day.
Yeah. Okay.
I've removed 125 from my sheet.
All right. And then
Brynn, you may no longer
This-
fight. Unless it's to win money.
policing lanes and Fury. Data. Boom. Okay, so that way I make a note and I won't forget it. And yeah, so as you buy the charts, he kind of looks over at the other dwarf and he goes, "Ha! Told you, Bafir. I always make the sale first. It's cheaper and easier. Your sensor decoys unreliable." He's like, "Yeah, well." those star charts are only as good as your pilot, you know. And they sort of continue like bickering back and forth. Books and tattoo supplies. So there are small books on history and stuff that you find that you could buy and scoop up for, like, if you say you just drop like five gold, you can get some basic history books about the place that you could read and go through at some point. And they're just kind of scattered out in this area. But one of the things that does catch your eyes is you actually see someone in that lower section giving tattoos. And they have a tattoo kit, because I can't remember if like they have a couple of tattoo kits on sale, and they're sitting there. It's a wood elf giving a orc a tattoo, sort of this white ink, and it's filling it on its back as you walk up to that stall. Let's see.
Tattoo.
Yes, I want tattoo.
I'm looking around for shields to add to my ship, since we're up in the shipyard bazaar. Rather not get shut down again.
Make sure it's a tower shield, because kite shields are all weird shaped, and you don't want that.
Yes.
Let's see. So
Brynn,
So
you
you
want to
guys-
watch the tattoo?
Go ahead and real quick, Kronos, give me an investigation check and hold on to that number.
All right. will do.
And as you guys are standing near the tattoo shop, you guys are sort of just kind of like watching, and the wild elf kind of looks up at you guys, and he goes, sees Brynn, sees Dis, and then sees Kronos. You guys all have your own like tattoos and different ink, and he goes, "Nice, dig the lines. You from Terrace? Are those tribal tattoos, or are those just for, you know, aesthetics?" And he's looking at you, Brynn.
I mean, currently it's aesthetics, but, you know, looking to learn.
Do you finger gun, really?
Yes!
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. He's like, that explains it. Trying to figure out, you want to be an apprentice? An apprenticeship? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. Preferably one that could move, you know, quickly, because we're kind of in and out of places.
Gotcha. I mean,
You got any
I can
books
show you
on
a few
tape?
things. Any books on tape? He sort of slaps the orc. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let it try on you, all right?" And the orc turns like, "No, you're fucking not. No, you're not." And he goes like, "No, yeah. Come on.
He's
Sit
like,
down
come
here. I
on,
know my
come on, big guy, it'll be fine.
I know I'm small and everything, but this stool's got plenty of room for you, and maybe not for me too. Maybe I should get up, stand up." He sort of stands up and lets you sit down, and he's like, he winks at you, and he still has the tattoo gun in his hand, and he's sort of like, he's like, he whispers to you pretty slightly. He's like, "I'll show you a few things if you're looking to figure out how to work the skin and the draw. Have you ever drawn anything before? Are you an artist at all?"
I mean, I've done some hand turkeys as a kid.
Aww.
Hand turkeys. Hey.
Yeah.
She's good.
I've seen some amazing hand turkeys in my day. And he starts going on. He's like, "Well, here you go." And he starts showing you like how to like move the skin and work the needle gun. And you don't get any of like the magicness from this guy, but he does teach you sort of things that you can, when you start making your checks, you'll it'll start getting easier and easier for you now. As sort of you have a starting point. You won't start at complete disadvantage. So
Awesome.
So he's teaching her the
DC?
medicine side as opposed to the like arcane side.
yeah, basically, he's
Okay.
teaching her the basics of tattooing. And Dis, as you're sort of there overlooking the counter, you do see sort of a like tattoo a book that's like tattooing and esoterics or something like that. It's like, or esoteric tattooing or something like that. And it's like almost not taken seriously, but you think that there might be a kernel of something in there that can be gleaned. But this might not be the only place to stop for that knowledge, or maybe it is. You don't know. You'll have to read
How
it and
much-
find out.
How much for the book?
Oh, that old thing. I've got a few more down here. I'll give it to you for 3 silver.
And how
then
much
so-
for the kit?
For the kit? Oh, it's a little pricey. I'll take a little off because it's 10 gold, but I'll give you the kit for 10 and the book. Just take out the 3 silver. 10 gold for all of it.
I'm gonna wait till Brynn's done, and then I'm gonna pay for it.
Okay. So a few hours go by. It's a good 3-hour session, and the moment he started tattooing again and started showing you things, like the orc started sort of panicking for a little bit and like attempting to look back, and as he was trying to look back, you see the wood elf grabs like his face real quick. He's like, no, you can't move. You move, you're gonna mess up the tattoo. And then they sort of start going into the tattoo, and time goes by, and so Kronos, while they're at that stall, you said you're looking for what for your ship? Shield?
Shields to add to my ship. Rather not get shot down again.
Okay. So, let me make a little note real so I don't forget who the tattoo guys are. My little NPC chart. Tattoo. That orc. I wonder if that orc's ever going to come back. Find a funny way to use them. Okay, so... You get to a spot and you see... It's sort of, if you look on the map, just in front of like the starport where you guys came out of, there's sort of that like... I think it's a pentagon shape, or maybe it's 5... Oh, it's 1, 2,
Yeah, no, there's
sides.
a pentagon
So it's not
shape
a-
there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But that guy, in there's sort of like the bigger supplies, and you can see ship panelings, thrusters, some of the bigger artilleries for ships that aren't illegal, like some of the homing missiles and stuff like that. And you see a large dwarf woman, and she's sort of standing back, and she's throwing things at this sort of pole that's sticking up off the ground. It kind of almost looks similar to the shaft of your scythe. It's like this electronic rod that sort of stands up into the air, and she's
Nice.
like, all right, she's got like a rock of stone in her hand. She's like, okay, it should work this time. And you see her like click something on a gauntlet that she has similar to yours, and the rod powers up, and she throws the rock, and as she throws, the rod sort of powers down, and she's like, fuck, and the rock goes through, and then it sort of powers up again, and where the rock was sitting, the shield isn't expanding, it expands from a spot, and it sort of throws, like, knocks the rock back and sort of shoots it out like a bullet real quick, and it sort of starts bouncing around this place for a moment. She's like, oh shit, heads, everybody, heads, and so that starts bouncing around. Oh man, oh, sorry. Oh, she's like, sees you just watching. She's like, wow, you didn't even react to that. That's amazing.
Yeah. I've had a few things explode around me. So,
Sorry, you've exploded a few things around you too.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
You hear from a few stalls over, hit it with lightning.
You see her touching her face, and she's like, does that explain the I mean, you're missing part of your face, or is that just a mask?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, interesting.
Scary
And
bastard.
she's like, oh, terrifying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Walking away.
Anyway, what can I help you with, sir?
I am looking to add shields to my ship. The kind of shields that reflect the bolts from the jackasses flying around up there, because I'm pretty sure one of them shot me down.
Physical, energy weapons, both. Guessing
Both.
both. Okay, it's
Yeah.
gonna be more expensive. And
Of
as
course
she's saying this, she's awkwardly trying to like and nonchalantly step in front of that rod, like the stick, so you don't see it, because she's like just like trying to not this shield. I have other shields that work much better than this one. sort of maneuver. And she goes like, yeah, I've got what size of the ship you got? And yours, it's basically it's a small like starfighter type ship. It's
Yeah.
on a small scale.
Yeah, so okay. Small starfighter.
So she kind of goes through her stuff, and okay, I've got a few shields here. This one I got off of an elven starfighter. They're the best ones. This is gonna be the most expensive. This one is orcish, and I mean, it has more output, yes, but it can go down from lots of damage and will take some time to recharge.
Okay.
And these are my two options for that size right now. So we got the Elven and the Orcish shield. This one, the Elven, reliable puppy, it's going to cost you 2,000 gold. The Orcish one, kind of reliable puppy, but very strong. She does 1,500.
Equip
Okay.
both.
Equip both.
Oh shit.
Just have all the shields.
The orc one is the outer layer. The elf one is the inner layer.
Your backup.
All the best
so-
starships have dual layers of shields.
If you could manage that, the way that would work is when the Orc shield went down, you would then have the backup shield, but it would be less AC. So you would constantly have shields, but you'd have like a one you could boost, but that's if you want to spend all that money and try to put both of those shields on your ship, because they're, like I said, size for the ship matters.
Right.
You could try it though, and that would really be really interesting.
And if you had enough power to power them both. Did I just get shushed by the GM?
What is the AC on the? Can I find out what the AC?
Yeah,
would
so
add?
the AC for the shield generating for the Orcish one would be a 3, a +3, but it has a massive damage, and the massive damage is estimated to be between 30 and 50. So if you take between 30 and 50 damage in one single hit, not stacked in a round, but in one hit, it could possibly knock your shields out. And then from there, it would basically be, when it came back to your turn, you'd have to roll a d6 and try and recharge it.
Gotcha. Okay. And is there any kind of disadvantage to the Elven one, and what is the AC for that one?
It's just a plus. It's just a constant +2,
Right.
But it's way more expensive, and it's reliable. That's the only.
And it's reliable. Okay.
You'll never be without a shield.
Right.
Unless someone like hacks and fucks with systems or whatever, but like it won't, from damage, it won't go down.
Right. No. All right. Then I guess I'll take the Elven one.
Or we could salvage it from
Let
an
me,
elven starfighter.
No, you know what? Maybe if I get another one, I can bring it back and sell it.
Be like, it was faulty. We got this one that was faulty. I want to return it.
Keep the receipt.
Full deal Walmart scam.
Keep the receipt.
This is the Amazon dealer, right? They have
so
30-day return.
did you say which one you wanted to buy? Did you say you wanted the Elven one?
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and buy the Elven one.
Okay, so she's like, all right, I'll pull up this little skiff here. She whistles and holds her arm out with the gauntlet, and the gauntlet starts like, and a little like hover pad sort of lifts up off the ground, off the corner, and comes to her, and she starts unloading what is a sizable amount of tech onto a skiff. And you know that you could get most of this, or well, all of it into your bag of holding, but it actually might top out your bag of holding at the moment, because bag of holdings aren't infinite.
Right. And that was 2,000 gold.
Yes.
Okay. I just took it off my sheet.
Cool.
Nice. People buying stuff. I expected everyone to murder Hobo and kill. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you got this cool thing? I'm gonna Skyrim this.
If you don't think I'm coming back after hours for that orc one.
Fucking.
I'm gonna pickpocket off her
Bender.
sleeping body.
She has to sleep sometime. Poison, poison, poison.
Poison. Fuck, that just brought back memories.
Oh, I have that inhaled poison still.
Yep. You have all your poisons still, because you keep forgetting to tell me that they're on your weapons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you heard the rumors about the hamster. You got a shield. Is there anything else you were looking while the 3 hours go by of the tattooing? So that only took about, maybe 40 minutes, if that.
How about some munitions for the ship as well? Like, heavy artillery.
So, here's about that. Just so since you're asking about the artillery specifically, you do know that your vehicle before it blew up and was scattered to the wind, it did have a BFG similar artillery cannon on it, except it was more meant to be part of the ship and not handheld fired. It was like the one that he made for Brynn was much more compact. But there is in the jungle still technically a large plasma cannon sitting somewhere, or maybe it fell into something. Who knows? But it's out there somewhere.
Okay.
That's the ammo canister you're looking for. Is the ammo to that because it basically he made it so it fed the same ammo. And so getting new artillery for it, you wouldn't be able to get that specific weapon, but there are some there's basically light laser cannons. There's also homing missiles, a couple homing missiles you can get. Like there's a canister of homing missiles. They carry usually 4 at a time. You can get maybe a couple of those, but you have to be careful about how much stuff you're putting on the vehicle. And I'll start building those. The vehicle, like your actual vehicle thing, now that we're getting close to buying parts for it and stuff like that, I'll build you out an actual sheet for it, similar to Dis's Starfighter, Elven Starfighter Raven.
All right. Well, then, we definitely need to make another trek out into the jungle because I want to find the rest of my ammo canister.
But you can find light cannons and homing missiles and all that other stuff if you want to inquire about some of that.
Kind of curious about them homing missiles. So I'll walk over to where the homing missiles are.
Dude, okay. So you see, this one is a guy. He is just a normal human, a dude guy.
A dude guy.
He's sort of dressed.
Dude guy or dude bro?
Dude bro. It's a total dude bro. He's got a faux hawk. He's dressed kind of like Han Solo. He's sort of got pants to line up the sides. He's got a little vest, a little tan shirt instead of white, whatever. But he kind of similar fashion in that. And he's sort of walking around, going looking at people, the other arms dealers, seeing what they got, thinking doesn't seem like there's much purchase for him or any customers left for him. Nothing he wants. He sort of turns and he sees you, and his eyes sort of narrow, and he sees you walking towards him, looking at the homing missiles, and he's like, all right, sort of rubs his hands together real quick and sort of stands there just waiting for you to come up and approach him. And he seems like to change his stance a little bit, almost like posh. It's very posh sort of stance, like, oh yes, you're coming to my establishment, I have what you need, sort of stance.
All right, I'll walk over to him. So, how much for the homing missiles?
Full rack of 4. Would you like some ammo for backup, or is it
just the full rack of 4?
Just a full rack of 4? Okay.
Yeah.
Drew starts doing some math on his data pad, and he goes, "Ooh, these are getting kind of rare. The demand is pretty up." He's sort of just going over. So that's 100 gold per homing missile. That's just the missiles. So that's 400 gold for them. And then the delivery device would be another 500. So that's going to run you a total of 900 gold.
That's great. Thanks for the info. And I turn around and I walk away.
Nice. Okay. Give me an intimidation check. And intimidate. It'd be intimidation.
All right. 18. 11 plus 7.
18. 11 plus 7. 12, 18. 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay. So he sort of goes, did I say 900? No, it was 400 for the delivery device and 50 for each missile. So that's it's only 600 gold. 600 gold is what I said. And he said, "Do you continue to walk away?"
Yeah. Just keep on walking. I keep laughing. Just nice try.
He sort of he's like, okay, what do you think it looks like? And you could whatever false bravado of confidence he was trying to put up in the beginning quickly fades away as he sees the one sale he wanted to make today walk away.
He's like, "What's your price?"
Stop and turn around and I walk back over. All right.
So I was gonna say real quick, with your insight, you sort of make him out as he's not really a seller. You might be able to haggle him super well if you haven't already, but he seems to be just like some smuggler type who came up on something, and he doesn't usually sell this stuff. He's usually like a transport guy or something along the lines, anything that's not a selling type, and he's just trying to dump this off.
Gotcha.
I ain't giving you no 350, you goddamn Loch Ness monster!
With your 20 passive insight, that's sort of what you read off him in terms of how he's presenting himself. And you get the sense he's been trying to sell this for some time and just hasn't been able to, and he doesn't know the price, but people keep walking away on him. So that was the perfect thing you could have done.
Awesome. So I walk up to him and like, tell you what, I'll give you $250 for the whole thing. How's that sound?
$250 for the whole thing. Give me a persuasion now with advantage.
All right.
And you can see that with the way he's looking at that, you're getting that him charging 900 was him trying to make profit. Him charging the 600 was trying to come even or close to even. So that hurts really bad, but you can see he's thinking about it.
All right. So persuasion, 15 plus 7, so that's what?
22.
22.
Was that your
6
best,
plus-
the 15? Because you had advantage.
Oh, that's right. Let me roll it again. 19 plus plus 7.
So
Yeah.
26.
So 26.
So, okay. He goes, yeah, I guess, man. They're right when they say crime doesn't pay. This whole endeavor ended up costing me more money. Fine, just take it off my hands. I'm tired of lugging the fucking thing around. And he sort of just like holds out his hand.
Aww.
Thank you. And I hand him the 250. So, I'm getting the impression that this isn't normally your gig, is it?
No, I've been trying to offload this and a couple light laser cannons, and it's not really going my way. I don't know how to do any of this. I had one of my light laser cannons just stolen. I was trying to sell that one at a time, and the dude just took it from me and was going to shoot me with it. He hacked into it and, yeah, was just holding it there,
Shit.
pointing it at me. I didn't think you could shoot it without it being attached to a ship.
Where the hell would that thing draw power from?
yes.
Holy shit.
Well, if there was a battery attached to it or the internal, yeah.
Capacitor. Ooh.
Flux.
No.
No? Aw.
There wasn't a laser cannon that was mounted to the DeLorean. What the fuck?
Flux capacitor.
Your flux capacity. No, that's really what Kronos is looking for.
Was that robot chicken that you just put in there?
Flux capacitor.
Yeah. You flux capacitor.
Oh my gosh. What did I do?
Right.
Do you still have this other laser cannon?
Yeah, the other one. Yeah, I still got that over there. And
Can I see it?
yeah, let's have 50 more gold, and I'll give it to you. And if you look at it, it looks like it's in good shape. You get the sense that 50 gold is a legit steal for it.
Yeah.
But this guy's
But-
just tired and defeated.
Now I'm kind of feeling bad for the poor
I know.
I gotta
broke him.
I did.
gotta play
Damn.
the strings in any way I can.
Fucking A. So I handed him
at
the
it.
50 gold. All right. Thank you. Now, where did you find these pieces?
Oh, so me and my boys, right? We had this plan.
My boys.
I told you he's a dude, bro.
He's such a dude, bro.
He's got
We had
like
this plan.
a little puppy that he calls his boys.
Yeah, right. They're just like a bunch of stuffed animals that he keeps on his like piloting.
Oh,
It's
that
not
just
it.
got so sad.
He's we had this idea. There's this casino guy, right? Bisk in Osis on Ryzen Prime.
Yeah.
He's a bugbear, not a fish person. So anyway, my mind went on a little tangent there, but there's like there's this casino guy, right? Bisk is this kind of made man in Osis, and there was this delivery of weapons that we had come across, and you just stumbled across it, and you just happened to shoot the people that were there, and we took it. But then in the process of taking it and getting out of there, I mean, most of like my boys, they died. They didn't make it. They died. I made it out with 2 light laser cannons and some homing missiles, and it was totally worth 1,000 gold. We chipped in for it. I mean, I didn't chip in all the 1,000. I only put in 250, and then added some stuff for the ship. So I think it's total. Damn it! He just like starts rubbing his head out. He's doing the math again.
Does he have more
So-
missiles?
What do you normally do? What is your normal gig? Because obviously you're shit at this.
As you say that, he's like, I don't know anymore, man. I tried everything. I tried racing. I can't fly worth shit. I can't steal. I can't shoot. I'm gonna go be a farmer, man.
Well, that's not a terrible thing to be.
How much for your sheep?
Yeah, my issue with him trying to be a farmer is if he can't barter, how the fuck is he gonna be a farmer?
Yeah.
Yo, I got this giant pumpkin. I'll give it to you for 1 copper.
Right.
Aw.
Damn.
It's really good. It's a really good pumpkin.
It's a really good pumpkin. You can fit a lot of seeds in here.
Just please take it. I don't know what to do.
I don't want to carry it around anymore.
This
Instantly goes
is
in there.
the pumpkin.
My boy's not carrying it.
Here.
You get the sense
Can
that
you-
this guy is just a mess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you give me the can you give me the location where you stumbled across this, that I can
Do you want me to give you
That
the
I can add to
address of the alley where, not the alley, the warehouse where we shot people to steal this? I mean, I can. It just seems, that just seems really weird for you to ask me right now. I'm not gonna.
I'm just sitting here. I'm really
That's
fucked
the
up,
weird
man.
part.
And you're over here like, where'd you get it? It's just weird.
I'm just yeah, anyway, never mind.
I mean,
Hey,
you can totally
Just
show you
curious
where I
about the
got it.
technology and the people that had it.
Oh, it's some arms dealers. Yeah,
Okay.
some merfolk arms dealers.
Merfolk arms dealers. Interesting. All right.
We should totally go rob them. And then sell all this stuff to the Resistance.
I was going to turn down the neural link, but yeah, why don't you go ahead and give me that address?
I knew you'd come around to my way of thinking, Kronos.
Okay, yeah. So he's like, okay, you can get yourself and your friends killed, and he sort of like gives you the data information. You can basically upload it to your device, no problem.
With a face like this, do you think Death and I don't have an acquaintance?
Yeah. So that's also really weird.
I don't like how you make your voice do the double thing. That's creepy.
I hand him another 50 gold for the information. I appreciate the help. You got a way to be contacted?
Yeah. You see him with that extra 50. He throws you his contact information, and you can put down Ules. It's ULES. Just Ules. You leaves me alone, please.
Let's see.
Healy's never call.
I'm just gonna put him down as terrible gangster.
Okay.
That's his NPC type. Terrible gangster. pathetic in quotes.
It's just
Uleez. I wrote it down as Yuleez.
That works. I'll change his name. That's a better way to remember its pronunciation.
Yeah, that's better. Actually, that's better. We're just gonna go with that. That's totally what it was from the get-go.
Yep.
Whole time.
Did you just
He's like,
basically
yeah.
spell out useless?
Okay. So, you write his name down, and like, as he sees you write it down, he's like, yeah, that makes more sense.
He's changing his name. Oh my god.
Like, putting it down and in the contacts. He's just like, kind of like, whatever helps you remember.
Whatever you need.
Well, Uleez, I appreciate the information, and thank you for the arms. Maybe go have a drink, relax, man. Actually, one more question. Who?
I'm waiting for him to be like,
Do you know who? Do you have any idea who stole the laser? Like, who? Do you know who it was?
Who stole the laser?
The second
light
one.
laser cannon?
The second light laser cannon. Do you
Oh
have a description?
no, I mean description-wise, it was just an orc. It's a big, thick orc, and he could carry very heavy guns.
Mm-hmm.
And he was annoying. I thought I was gonna die. I legit thought he was gonna shoot me.
Andy was
Okay.
annoying.
You just described a lot of orcs. Not all orcs, but
Well, a lot of them do look the same. This one, he goes into some detail. He's basically like, this one has a nose ring and a lot of tattoos on one ear, not the other one.
okay.
And one of his eyes is a different color. Sort of, they're both dark, but they seem like one was black and one was brown.
And you said tattoos on one ear, but not the other.
Like piercings up all one ear and not the other.
Okay.
Oddly enough, no tattoos.
Ear. All right. You ever seen him before?
No, he just seemed interested in the guns.
No.
And it was my fault for not, doing it around people. I tried to go through some contacts that I knew, and it didn't work. So I left Osis and came here because this was supposedly a good trade town where people come to stock up on like ship supplies and stuff. So I figured someone would buy these for their ships, and
Well,
they did.
yeah.
So mission's accomplished.
Exactly.
It tries to make it sound good, but it's just like knowing everything it's like, yeah, no, that's not.
Yay.
All the more reason why you've earned yourself a drink. Uleez, thanks for the info, and thanks for the rockets, and I'll contact you soon.
Okay.
I feel.
Looking.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's like, please don't.
Don't. Yeah, it's like he's gonna say, I'm not really looking forward to you contacting me again, but if you do, I'll be here.
Yeah. No, I get that a lot. It's fine.
And
that's the appropriate response, Uleez. Bye.
Oh, and by here, I mean Ryzen Prime. I'm not really. This isn't really my gig.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
You're like, all right, okay, bye.
Just yeah.
And he starts
Ryzen
walking up towards Chance Alley, and you get the sense that he's probably gonna wander into an ass beating at some point. with the way he is.
Dude, bro.
Well, dude, bros. What are you gonna do? All right, so I've literally got like a cart full of stuff now, don't I?
Yeah, you literally do. And if you put it in your bag of holding, you can, and it will fill it up. But you also have a skiff, like a hover skiff, that's kind of coming with you. It's sort of those that came with the deal with the all the gear. And
Well, how much time has elapsed? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just say it holds about like 500 pounds total.
Okay,
Those
I mean,
little
I'll
skiff.
I'll use the skiff. How much time has elapsed? Are they still doing the tattoo?
with all of your shopping, I would say you're approaching the last little bit of the 3 hours. So you're coming up to about 3 hours. So they're just finishing up when you arrive back at their stall with the little hover cart following you.
Okay.
With your rack of missiles.
Did you have fun?
I got those slung on my shoulder. You know, I'm just walking around.
Did ya? Just what the fuck?
Don't forget your huge fucking elven shield generator.
Well, that's on the skiff.
What about your light laser cannon?
That's also on the skiff.
Skiff.
Yeah.
He's like on the. Yeah. Yeah.
And Volsug, you are with you. You can carry the missiles around town, but it is definitely it's an effort. So at some point you might want to stop and put them at the.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just
ship.
put them on the skiff. Fuck that.
Okay. He's like trying to Arnold it around.
Yeah.
But there
Yeah. No, you put them on the skiff.
And
Put it on
yeah,
the
so he walks up, sets the missiles down, and you see that this is sort of flipping through the esoteric book, around the watching Brynn. She actually now does sort of have the tattoo gun at the very end and is like finishing up some of the lines at the very tip of something, and he's like, and the gnome's like, oh, nice, very steady hand, this one, very steady hand. And he introduced himself as Itham at some point. He's, my name is Itham, and then this schlug here is Ravix, and he's basically talking about the orc in front of him. And you guys all in that 3 hours have a little bit of give and go, and there's actually interesting, these two guys have a similar humor and give and go and like talking shit that's like you would find in like your old, like a horde of barbarians or people who are around that sort of dark, violent nature. They have that dark humor. These guys have a similar tinge to them, so you don't necessarily know what their history is, but they seem to know each other and definitely have that dark humor twist to them.
So in other words, it's like being around a bunch of military people. You all just say some real dark shit. You're like,
shit, yep.
I should be super creeped out right now,
Yep.
but I'm fucking not, and I think that means that there's something wrong with me.
Yep.
Okay,
it's on
cool.
that. It's walking that line the whole time, but it's enjoyable. There's nothing that's ever off color.
You're like, oh, this is funny. I shouldn't be laughing. That's probably wrong. That's probably bad.
Yep.
That's fine.
I'm
though,
going to
whatever.
hell laughs.
Yeah. Yeah. I do those a lot at work. You're just like, oh no, oh bad.
So as we wrap up at this stall with the tattooing and Kronos coming up with his bounty of stuff that he's
My arsenal.
we can wind things down here, or if there's anything anyone wants to do right. Yes, we're getting there. We are getting there.
I'm just paging through.
Nice.
Yes, I didn't know what people were gonna lean into, and so yeah, I had to have some stuff ready. And but yeah, so if there's nothing anyone wants to get done right here while we're at the stall, that's on the tippy top of your mind, we can go ahead and wrap it up here. Yeah.
I mean, I'm good. I feel like I've done more than I expected to do today, actually. So that's cool.
I did indeed want to see if there is an armor vendor anywhere here.
Yes. Okay. So along back down where you guys were seeing the blacksmithing sort of areas, which was on the other side, there was with the like the weapons and stuff like that. You find closer to Chance's Alley and those like two long buildings, there is blacksmiths there, and there's also engineers, and they're working on. There's like a guy who's working on replica armor that's sort of historic, and it almost looks like a D&D fantasy section. It's really small, but it's just sort of like a hobbyist. And then next to him, there's a guy who's actually selling like armor that's like power armor, different power armors and stuff like that. And one of them seems to be big and bulky, almost Gears of War style armor. And then another, there's a slick one. It seems elven, but it's not the high crown imperial sort of suit. And those seem to be the two biggest ones on this, like the two main ones on display. But there's like pieces of different armor sets around too. And the woman working the hobbyist is actually a pretty old woman who's doing the blacksmithing, but she's wiry and stern, and she's human female. And the other person is a actual female wild elf, just sort of kind of like watching the old woman work. And you can see that there's like in her eyes, she's sort of in awe of that sort of style of work. And she sees you and walking towards her with the eye of a customer and goes, "Oh, welcome to my shop. I am well, I just switched my tab. I am Lycia, and this is Abella, and we have different modern armors and some historical pieces over here on this end if you'd like. What brings you here?"
Just looking to see if any armor catches my eye.
Is there any specifics you're looking for?
Black.
Black. That I can do. And you can see she goes to a back chest and she looks you over. You said you looked like you looked before, so not elven, but you're human now, right?
No, actually, because I'm out of spell slots and it's been more than an hour, and I don't want to use my last second level spell slot on Alter Self.
Oh, so okay, I got you. So you're back to a drow.
Yes.
Would you want to be walking like with hood up or any sort of disguise?
Well, yeah. So this is what I said.
Okay.
Like while you were dealing with Luke.
Gotcha. Okay. So go ahead and give me a stealth check, and you can do it with advantage. It will help. You're sort of using the shadows and the hood and the clothes to try and hide your form.
Wow. This die likes me tonight. I rolled a 14 and an 18. So
Nice.
31.
31. Okay, so you managed to actually cover your form, like in terms of your face and that stuff, but your hands sort of poke out, and she's sort of looking, and she sees the hand, but in the light, in the darkness, there's no recognition of drow, but she sort of sees the elegance in the way you sort of move and pull your hand back, and she goes, "I don't mean to pry. If you wish to have privacy, is it elven you're looking for? And I'm just judging by the way you move." And you can go ahead and give me an insight check if you want, if that seems fishy to you.
So where are Brynn and Kronos during this part? I mean, are they near the door? Are they blocking? Are they...
That is up to them. They could have walked sort of into the stall with you, or they could be standing out on the street just outside the stall.
Then again,
I mean,
Kronos is hauling a shit ton of...
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
figure
I'm
I'm-
probably going to be standing by Kronos to make sure nobody tries to, run off with any of his shit.
Is there anyone else in the shop? Any
Just
customer?
no customers. The traffic seems to be low since you guys rested before. Traffic actually seems to be pretty low, and it's just the Abella and Lycia in here and you, and then the two up beside the shop.
So in response to her question, I pull my hood down and say, yes, elvish of a kind.
Okay. She sort of looks, and you see she was grabbing a chest, and she stops, and she's just like, oh, and Lycia is a wild elf. I don't think I mentioned that. Abella is a human.
You did.
Oh, I did. Okay. She stops and goes, "Oh, I understand the need for your privacy. Yes, black it is, and I think I might have something you'd be interested in." And she goes to a different chest this time, and by chest I mean it's sort of like a big cargo container that's got a data pad on it, but I'm just calling it a chest for ease. And she goes over, puts it on, and you can see she types in a little code and pops it open. And up top you see it looks like a human style make of sort of old historic helm, and then like a fencing dagger. And then two bracers, and then as she clicks in some more buttons on the pad, and it's like continuing to type in the password after it opened, the top sort of folds up and extends out, and underneath it is a set of pieces to a set of power armor. And when you see the pieces of it, you notice it's elven make, and you remember the visions you had, the flashes you had. This power armor Doesn't seem to necessarily be the same exact armor in terms of the one he was wearing, but it seems to resemble the armor that that General Danuin was wearing, which is the blood-eyed general. Basically, General Danuin is the blood-eyed general. This is that type of armor, which is built for stealth. It's built similar to Brynn's. It's got a shield generator. It can last in underwater in the atmosphere of space. You can walk around outside, on ships on with it, and it has the same thing where you won't have advantage on stealth with this power armor, but like you said before, when it comes to switching enchantments, it might you might still be able to do that. So, but it is similar to Brynn's power armor, but it's actually Drow made. The one that Brynn is wearing is actually just High Elven, but you painted it black.
With the red stripe, thank you.
That is true.
Yeah. And then she looks at you and she
walking
goes,
around outside, that you need to think I might need some of this power armor. Hang on now.
and she says if secrecy is needed, I could also modify it so it's not obvious as to the maker of the armor, if that is something you're interested in.
It's not really a concern. My main concern is the fact that I tend to move quietly.
This being Drow armor does have noise amplifiers, or noise dampeners, amplifiers.
Amplifier.
It amplifies noise.
I'm just the original George Bush over here, just making it work.
Amplifying.
Does it have a
Amplifying
bonus to strategery?
Yes, it does have a bonus to strategery. You are correct. No, but it does. It's a type of armor. Basically, it'll make your similar to Brynn. It'll be power armor, so you'll be wearing heavy armor, and you can basically add it as a proficiency because it's power armor. It sort of moves with you. It's not like normal plate mail where you have to learn to move in it. This sort of is intuitive, and so you can add the proficiency to your sheet when you add it to it, and it'll make it 18 with the shield and all that, and it won't take away from your stealth, but you'll have to find a way to get the advantage on stealth. You'll have to find a way to transfer that with the enchanting, but that is possible. Moving enchantments is possible.
Yeah, plus the shadow armor enchantment that's on it.
Yeah. The blur.
Yeah.
The blur. Sorry.
And she looks at your armor because that came from the game before, and it's made by Drow then, and she kind of cocks an eye, and you see with like some of the other people that saw you, there was recognition. Some people were like, okay, there's another Drow, and then there were some people who looked at you like that other guy, and then she's more of how Bach kind of first looked at you, or some of the other groups. There's a "you're not from here, are you?" sort of look as she sees the armor and like the way the shadow sort of plays on you differently than other people in the light. Annabella has sort of stopped banging on her armor and has sort of been watching the encounter, and she's just silent. She hasn't said anything.
Like silent in a contemplative way, or a silent like...
Give me an insight roll, actually.
17.
A little bit is in awe in terms of the way she's looking, and she's just kind of like drinking the moment in, but the not speaking, you feel like she actually might not be able to speak.
So nothing malevolent.
Yeah, no, nothing malevolent at all.
Okay.
Just some kind of
That was my only concern.
Oh shit, hold on, my headphones just died. Oh
Shit.
What'd you say? 20 gold? Deal. Perfect. All right, we shook on it.
Dish, you're terrible.
There we go. There they go.
You're not surprised. None of us are surprised.
We made a deal for the armor. Well,
No.
Yeah.
No. No.
I rolled a
20
natural
silver.
20 and she looks at you and she looks at your compatriots outside, and yeah, she said like, so you're not from here, are you? And I think I missed what you said after that. If you said
I wasn't aware it was a question. So
okay, so
no.
okay, yeah, she just she says
Not
that
even a little.
and looks down and goes, I could offer you the armor and we could haggle. Is there anything you might trade? And you can see that she's interested just to see what you have, and there may be something that you have that she might be willing to trade for this armor. And I'm not sure what you have on you, but...
Does she also sell weapons?
Not a lot, but there are some weapons here, and they're like ranged, sort of like firearm weapons. And then the blacksmithy, there is some like swords and stuff on the historical side. Swords, maces, flails, sort of things.
I'm just saying I have 2 +2 short swords that I could sell.
Okay. And those were Elvins too, right? Elvin make short swords?
These
Cool.
were ones that we got. I think we were in the Drow Temple, maybe.
It was. I think those are the ones that those swords were the ones that those skeletons we fought. Remember, we got the returning weapons, except those ones didn't have return. I think the.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
The ones that can also incapacitate if you did the gem thing. Was that the ones?
I think so. Yeah, because they could paralyze or they could
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this.
vorpal.
Oh.
I
So-
still have that plate +2.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want.
I'm fine giving it up if it'll help you get what you need.
So I'm gonna pull out the plate +2 and say, what kind of trade can you give me on this?
Do you
This-
mind if I appraise?
Fine example of otherworldly magical plate armor. Yes.
When you pull it out, she seems to. There's like a gleam in her eye, but a Bella comes over, and when you say yes with the appraisal, she starts doing the appraisal, and she's looking it over, and you hear noises coming from her breaths and like stuff like that, and she looks at Lycia and starts nodding, and Abella goes, Lycia goes, Abella seems that this might be a fair enough trade. Done deal, if that's what you're willing to part with.
Up to you, Brynn. It's yours.
Enjoy.
Done.
When that happens, she takes the stuff out and puts it on the table for you, and she goes like, if you need a crate for this, I can put it in something, or you could just take it from the table. It's up to you. And Abella has like this huge smile on her face and just sort of like taking the armor over to her side of the store and is putting it on a rack, and you can see she's like getting it on there and doesn't really struggle too much getting it on, and sort of sits back and looks at it, and then like licks her thumb and rubs a little scuff mark off,
Like,
and then like nods her head.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that she liked it.
I'm glad when a happy deal can be made.
It's getting heavy lugging that shit around anyway.
It was in my bag of holding, wasn't it?
It's fine. I don't know. Sure. Probably.
I
And-
realized I don't have my sword from last season.
Look at 65 pounds.
Your great sword.
Yeah,
We'll say it's in the ship data then.
yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I
I'm
didn't even think about it until just now.
Does it need to be sized or anything, or is
Go
it good
ahead,
to
then.
go as it is?
There's definitely some sizing that can be done with it, and she'll help you get all that in. And it's pretty interesting as you put it on. She sort of types in something on the chest, like a little chest panel that opens, and you can feel pieces of it like moving and stretching, similar to how it did with Brynn. Remember how you got it on Brynn?
Yeah.
And it sort of sizes itself to you. And yeah, that is easily done with power armor.
And I almost forgot. Didn't 2 sessions ago we kill another of the elves, and his guts were all inside the power armor, and then
You
washed
did
it out
wash
with it?
off a power armor, but I said that it wasn't one that was on the level of Brynn's. It was a little less. Like it wasn't the like the Scion power armor that you got. This was more just like a pleb power. So it'd be like Stormtrooper armor. It just kind of
Oh, I
looks
just
similar.
Wanted to see if they want. Well, no, we might need it for disguise purposes
And
later.
and the reason you grabbed it too is for disguise purposes, but it was also silent, so you thought you could change the enchantments over for looks. Is
You know
why you
what?
grabbed it, I believe.
I'm going to ask these lovely ladies if there's someone who they know of who can move the magical qualities from one piece of armor to another.
So that you get the sense like the Lycius hears you ask and kind of looks at Abella. Abella sort of shrugs, and they go, making magic and dealing with it isn't really our thing. We're definitely glad to possess it. And tech, I can deal with tech, but the arcane, that's another story. I could put out some feelers. If you have a way I could contact you, I might be able to get you in contact with someone who can, and I would make sure it's someone I could trust.
Kronos, do I have an address now that I have this infernal thing in my head?
You
Like
do
a
have a
Gmail or
contact
something?
info, like a Facebook. Yeah, you have a Facebook.
Oh,
Live
fuck
journal.
no.
Can you add me?
No,
Fred request me.
My-
Live
MySpace.
request.
I want a MySpace.
Live journal. Live journals. MySpace.
Contact me through Tumblr.
Oh.
Live
So
journal.
it's just like an all-purpose like communications thing.
Yeah,
like email.
It's the
I
data
do.
net.
I
Yeah.
give her my frequency address dealy thing.
my mind code. No,
My
but,
flux capacitor.
so as we sort of, I'm gonna say we can go ahead and call it here with the acquisition of the armor, and as we sort of pull out on the night city of Persine across the river in the jungle, not a mile off the map, you can see lights shining brightly in the
Shine bright like a diamond.
in the jungle, as if a party was happening, a disco party, and that's what we'll call it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what that is?
Is that his
Kronos?
armor?
Did
Yes.
somebody get your armor?
There are scavengers all over this moon.
He just
You get the feeling, just because it might never ever come up again, that the goblin found some other things out there in the jungle, just didn't have them on display and had them in his tent.
Oh my gosh. That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he also had the armor.
I mean, to be fair, the flashy armor didn't really go with my aesthetic anyway.
I remember you telling me you didn't want it, so I didn't bring it up. But
Yeah, yeah,
I was just
yeah.
saying
It wasn't didn't really fit me. But that's funny. That is a nice.
That is
that's
funny.
a funny aside.
I
Although I'm
I
curious
like
what
that
the
there's
little
some
bastard,
little.
what else the little bastard had. But yeah,
So what he was gonna try to do is set up the armor as like the "Welcome to my circus" as like the lights, but he just hadn't
Right.
got there yet and was practicing because he just found the dog and was trying to train them and make some money while he was training them. So, yeah.
And then he found Brynn.
Or Brynn found him.
Ah, yeah.
Can I
And then
make
he
a-
lost a dog.
Yes. He kept the armor though, so you know
He can still have a party.
it's a win for him.
he
it's a
also
win
got
for us.
paid, and he didn't get dismembered. So you know.
Oh,
I
I
speaking
still
of which,
vote for cutting his arms off, but you know.
speaking of which, when we I heard that. That sounded nice. When we get back
that
to the
sounds
ship to leave this place, do we want to end this? Am I the only one that used spell slots during this entire damn thing?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna have a short rest.
No, I'm gonna have a long 4-hour rest on the way back.
Also, did you said you're looking for a disguise kit? I don't think we ever went over it, but when you were getting supplies from Suzaria, she as a rogue, being a rogue in previous adventures, she would have had a disguise kit as part of like the gear she gave you.
Cool.
So I don't know if we ever discussed that. I just want to remember, get that out of the way right now.
No, I never put it on my sheet.
Okay.
So.
Awesome.
Cool. And once we get back to the ship, I'll be sure to let these two jokers know of the minor slaughter that occurred in a dark alley.
No one's gonna find till morning.
Yeah.
But we do need to get out of here tonight. Is basically
Right.
what has happened.
And also,
Yeah.
you did get that data pad you got. It was from that guy. You can
I actually hand
Like
that to Kronos once we're back.
Yeah,
on the
so
ship.
you can kind of figure out maybe who he sent that to and stuff too. So you have no idea. That guy did seem like an idiot. So you have no idea who he sent that to. Maybe no one. Maybe someone very bad.
He like put it out. He's like, any of y'all know who to tell about this? It's just like randomly on a Reddit feed somewhere.
The specific words were specifically "they're here."
Oh, I thought it was that I was here.
Well, yes, that you're there.
That's what he was meaning, but his words were "they're here," which could be incredibly ambiguous and mean nothing to the vast majority of people.
They're here.
Mostly. I'm just kidding. I know it's a different Wait, no, it's not.
What?
Wait, they're here. It is. Yeah, that's
They're here is
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, yeah.
Poltergeist, yeah.
Well, he went
That's what I
towards
thought,
the
but
light.
Yeah. Carolyn.
All are well. So you can investigate that or blanket and use it. I don't care, but I figured it was.
They're here, sent out on the Elven comms device. I just wrote it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will definitely. I listen. There's gonna be a good bit of me investigating stuff and working on stuff in the workshop next session.
In the very near future.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously.
When we do hit a downtime, so like basically the way I plan on doing downtime is like Kronos will be investigating. I imagine at some point either Dis, you'll either fly the inner rim and try and scan it that way, or Bach can help you with like find a more efficient way to do that. You also have those the trajectory courses you can follow and see like sort of have them a mathematical equation sort of plotted out and sort of see maybe where it would have ended up if nothing else collided into it. So yeah, you might find some pieces that way, and that'll be used in downtime. And Brynn, you have that ring on now with the Wisdom of 6.
I also give her the laser pistol that the guy had.
Okay, nice.
Sweet.
Since she can't use her, fuck you cannon that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then
We're
in
gonna fix that.
In downtime, Brynn can start giving people tattoos.
Yes.
And,
That's what I was gonna
figuring
say.
out all that. And the esoteric book that you got that you're looking through, you think, just skimming through it, that there's probably more to that book than meets the eye. It's probably one of those things that you'd pick up in like a little shop that no one really looked at, but there's a lot of good secrets in there.
Cool.
Very cool.
Oh, and I give that to Brynn, obviously, and the kit that I bought.
Yeah, I was gonna say the shit that you got specifically for me.
Yeah, I give the things to her that I bought for her. There we go.
Thank you. Very cool.
So we're loading back up on the ship, right?
Yeah, you guys are basically, if you guys choose to, you just go back and start loading up the ship and getting ready to head back to Cesaria's Grove. Or back to the asteroid. I don't know exactly where you're going. I think you want to wait for the ammo, though. So probably to Cesaria's Grove. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long's that trip?
Right. Going from here to there? In the ship, it's just an hour.
Oh.
You good?
Yeah, it's just not long enough to rest. So
You could get a rest in by traveling, and by the time, like, we can say that we get to Cesaria's Grove, and by the time we get back, you have to finish another rest. You can go ahead and start clean on the next session. I'm fine with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sucks to have to use all your spell slots to try and hide and shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get those back.
Agreed.
Well, technically, I saved one, so that's what I would have used between the last vendor and the port.
Yeah. Sounds good. That way no one else
Awesome.
saw you. And your stealth was high enough though, so you didn't have to worry about that
Yeah.
near the end.
Cool. So, as always, we want to thank everybody who stuck it out with us this long. This was a
Yes, indeed.
interesting shopping trip version of Dice Games and Dudes, where we just bought a bunch of shit. But
Necessary shit.
super needed. Holy fuck.
And made contacts.
Yes. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Also, be sure to pay attention to redvalkyrie.net/merch. I have designed some new dice names and dudes specific stuff to include a couple of patches that are... It's not from Tony, so it's not as good as I'd like them to be, but you know they're okay. And then we got some really cool shirts that have all of the characters to include Kirby, whose body we're currently still trying to find, Kronos, Brynn, and Discord. So be on the lookout for those getting uploaded this week. And let us know what other kinds of goodies you might want us to put up on the store, because we are always looking to improve the fan experience. Thanks guys for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Yay.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah.